tonight. Forza Motorsport Spec Racing here live on Twitch TV. Let's get it going. AMS Storm now here on lap number 34 of 34. Jumps into the top spot. And here comes Maverick now, going to make a run to the inside. Drax perhaps missing his mark. Hello, everybody, and a happy Tuesday to you, or at least I hope it's been a happy Tuesday. Welcome to X-Venture Live on Twitch TV. Season 39 of the Forza Spec Racing Series about to get underway. Week number 1 action in the 1990 Mazda MX-5 Miata. And we've got Lime Rock full, 30 laps, and Sonoma short for 22 laps. There you see the standings from Season 38, all concluded, official, and that one's in the record book. As a matter of fact, they've already wiped these points. Clean slate here starting tonight. And if you don't know, now you know. RZ and McQueen on a 2-season tear, back-to-back championships. Came out of Season 38 with 400 points to SGR Floofy's 370 and picked up the win. And when you get the championship in the Forza Spec Racing Series, you get to pick the vehicle for the following season. And so that is RZ and McQueen who's opted for the Miata. Let's go take a look at that car so you know what to expect here in today's action and then on through the next 4 weeks after today. There's your 1990 Mazda MX-5 Miata D400 Performance Index here in Forza Motorsport 7. That is on the low end of the Performance Index spectrum, so dropping down quite a bit from the 360 Challenge Stradale that we were in just one season ago. 156 horsepower, not a whole heck of a lot, but when you factor in the car only weighing 1,980 pounds, not a bad power to weight ratio, 135 foot-pounds of torque. You got the race air filter, the intake, you got the race engine block, then in the suspension and handling, it's race brakes, race springs and dampers, race front and rear anti-roll bars, race chassis reinforcement and roll cage, race weight reduction. Then in the driveline department, you got a race differential. And then as it goes for the wheels and tires, sport tire compound. Those are wrapped around sport rim style of BBS REs. Up front and in the rear, 195/50 15-inch rims. And let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule. While we're here peering at the car, let's see what the drivers have to look forward to, and you all as the spectators. As I mentioned, week number 1 here tonight, Lime Rock and Sonoma. That'll be followed up by Silverstone National with a little bit of precipitation there in week number 2, 27 laps around that track. Mount Panorama Bathurst for 12 laps. Then week number 3, the midway point of the season takes us out to Road America. That's on the first half of the season. And then Brands Hatch for the beginning of the second half, followed by Watkins Glen, Homestead, and then concluding things in week number 5 with 40 laps out at the Indianapolis Grand Prix circuit, the alternate track. Slow Motion Fire there in the chat. I see Zane Taylor there. He says, sitting in the stands wearing his Foontang shirt. Flying Turd says, love the 12 hours of Snow Runner. Thank you there, Flying Turd. I was about to send you a thanks there in the chat, and then we came up to the end of the intro video, but thank you so much, and I'm glad you got a chance to tune in for that one, and of course anybody else who might be watching and enjoyed our time out there in the world of Snow Runner in Michigan. For the most part, about 95% of that broadcast was spent in Michigan. Didn't see much of the snow at all. I am working through some connection. I wouldn't say they're difficulties. I'm just having an issue where the Xbox app on PC is not allowing me to join off of the menu so that I can easily get into the lobby. And I see Slow Motion Fire telling me that he has sent the invite, but unfortunately it's not coming through. at least not yet. I don't know why this has been a thing over the last couple of new seasons where I have this issue where the Xbox, the PC application, doesn't like to cooperate. Last time, I'm pretty sure what it was an update. That there was an update that they kicked out that fixed it. I'm trying to see if I can force any sort of update right now to help me get to where I need to be, because I am not getting any invitations, and of course we all know that. That means bad news. That means usually like a restart or something unfavorable to broadcasting, right? We like to have a seamless from start of the cast to the very end. Green to checker. So let me try one thing here right quick, and pardon me as I kind of ramble, stumbling along here while doing the behind-the-scenes computer tech stuff to try to troubleshoot what's going on. I really don't. There's something about the Xbox app on PC that I'm not too fond of. I'm not sure what it is. I just I have these sporadic issues where the system doesn't want to do what I think it should do, which is allow me to just join into a gameplay session. Let's see here. Yeah, well, that's fun. That's fun. We will see racing tonight. It's just a matter of whether or not I have to restart the broadcast. By the way, folks, and I was starting the broadcast early because I really wanted an opportunity to try it out and make some announcements before the racing got started. But we've got a lot of stuff to cover here this evening. Not only start of the Forza Spec Racing Series Season 39, but announcements about forthcoming broadcast, and then also we've got some winners to announce from the 24 hours of SnowRunner broadcast Saturday through Sunday. I've got 6 names to pick from the Wheel of Names, and those folks will pick up either a $10 gift card of their choice to the Xbox, PlayStation, or Steam store, or one lucky winner who gets a $50 gift card. So that coming up here at the end of the broadcast, along with all the announcements. I was hoping to get to a few of them here, but because of the stumbling blocks that are the connection situation right now, I'll have to reserve that all the way to the end. And let's see, let me go ahead and tick that off there. I'm going to go back to the standings here just again so you guys can get a glimpse of where things ended in Season 38, RZ and McQueen becoming the champion. By the way, to my knowledge, I haven't seen it in the lobby myself because I haven't been able to get into the lobby. But my understanding is that RZ and McQueen is going to be participating here in Season 39 to try and make it back to back to back. And if he accomplishes that, that'll be the first time in Forza Spec Racing Series history, dating back to 2014, that anybody's been able to accomplish that. So that would be pretty spectacular. However, I'm guessing there are a few drivers who would love to say otherwise and put somebody else's name in the bright lights at the end of Season 39. Beautiful thing. It's bragging rights. It's a beer league. It's fun. It's very, very competitive, however. So you get the good balance of kind of a track day situation where folks just go out, do the best that they can, and really once you're done, you leave, and you don't really, at least in my opinion, you don't think too much about it. Some of the drivers might disagree. And then you come back the next week and you do it all over again. So really curious as to how this one's going to play out in a much slower car in the Mazda MX-5 compared to the 360 Challenge Stradale. I think that's going to keep the racing a little bit tighter. Should make things a lot interesting for the majority of the race. Maybe a little bit toward the end is when it'll start to spread out a while. But, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's always an unknown. You can assume all you want going into these things, but you never really know until you get out there. Slow Motion Fire, are you getting invites from anyone? I've had several people send you one. I'm restarting my Xbox app right now, so I will tell you if I have any invites. I'm not entirely sure why this has been a thing the last 2 seasons, the very first week. Okay, so I do have some invites. That's good news. That's a plus. Let me see if I can actually just join off of your gamer tag, Slow Motion Fire. I can't, so let me go ahead and go to fear the fun, and let's see if I can't get into the lobby this way. Oh, it looks like it's working. This Xbox app, I tell you, it's just, it doesn't work as well as getting on an old Xbox and just connecting with friends. Here we go. Perfect. Up and running. Whew. Spared me a restart of the broadcast. I thought there for a moment that I would have to restart the broadcast. Folks, I did want to mention at least one thing here before the broadcast got started, and so let's go ahead and do that right now. After the 24 hours of SnowRunner that happened Saturday to Sunday, that's all great. It was a fantastic broadcast. It was a very successful broadcast. It's likely to be the last 24-hour broadcast that I do just because, kind of like I said, I alluded to this during the show itself, where I said, 24-hour broadcasts are fun in theory, but once you get closer to the end and the broadcaster is more and more tired, the less exciting and interesting I think it becomes. And so it becomes a wear on the streamer, and then I think obviously as the viewer. That being said, the X-Venture game days are not going away. Coming up here on April the 10th. April the 10th. That's a Saturday. Be jumping into City Skylines and going to be doing a 12-hour broadcast to see how great of a mayor I can be. Join me on April the 10th, City Skylines. It's going to be fun. I really enjoy this game. I've got a lot of time with this game. However, the caveat there is I've never been able to string along a lot of time to where I can really build the city to kind of the grand scale that I'd like. I always build one, and then it's been so long since I played that I go ahead and I just get rid of it and I start anew, and I always make that mistake. Well, we're going to do 12 hours straight, so that should give me plenty of time to do the things that I want to do to try to make the city as cool, as efficient, and as interesting as I am hoping that I can do. And here's the cool thing. You all can be a part of it. You all can be represented on the map in the city. Ventureville is what I'm calling it. I'm going to have more details about how you can be a part of that a little bit later on in the broadcast. And then the very last thing I want to mention before we go ahead and head out to the track here for the beginning of tonight's action is that, oh gosh, did I even do it? Yes, I think I did. There we go. March Sub Madness, which is already underway. Already 18 subscribers here in the month of March. That's the best start to a month that this channel has ever seen, and that's coming off a month where there were 52 subscribers there in February. Here in the month of March, if you subscribe, you get to choose a mansion to be placed on Ventureville there on April 10th. Yes, there are 5 mansions that you could choose from, and it's yours. You'll see it. I'll place it on the map, and that'll be you. Can you avoid the natural disasters? Will you be placed in a good neighborhood? Like, you're just going to have to be a part of the fun, and you could do so a little bit more than just watching the broadcast if you subscribe here on the channel. And that could be through a Prime Gaming subscription or through a paid sub. In the middle there, you'll see if you are a paid subscriber, one randomly selected paid subscriber, I'm going to go ahead and gift you 5 gifted subs to the channel of your choice, and that can be your own channel. If you're a paid sub to this channel and you get randomly selected here for March Sub Madness, I can give 10. I can give you 5 gifted subs to your channel or to the channel of your choosing. And for those of you who opt to use Prime Gaming and for those of you who already have, know that at the end of the month I will be selecting one random Prime Gaming sub, and we'll be giving them a 6-month subscription to the channel of their choice. So more perks here on X-Venture for you to be able to get a little bit more value back, You watch the broadcast. For those of you who commit to the subscription, maybe looking for a little bit more value out of it beyond the emotes, the ad-free viewing, and all that, well, there you go. We'll revisit that a little bit later on and talk about some of the other perks associated with that and a few other things that are happening here on the channel in the coming weeks. All right, taking a look at the lobby. And fortunately was able to make it in. We've got 23 of the 23 grid spots filled here tonight. Love to see it. Kratrium, Toyosama 420. We've seen him before. Welcome back there, Toyosama. as Slow Motion Fire makes some adjustments here to the lobby. SGR Floofy is in there, who came second there in season number 38, 30 points back from RZ and McQueen. Fear the Fun, predictably, as always, out there on the track. RZ and McQueen, our champion from season 37 and season 38, trying to go for the trifecta, the hat trick. Born as Ghost, LS Barney, CMD Slipstream, Barf Monkey, Oddrex, Joe Beardy, Foontang, Chaos Fox, Weisenmitten, your boy, Jacoby. I don't know why I put the Kubi on there. It's Jacoby. Savage Reaper, Slim Jim, Stevie Superstack, Slow Motion Fire, OK Fox, Jason D, Grim, Kuda, Ovation. Again, 23 drivers here. It is a stacked lobby for the beginning of season 39. It'll start with qualifying, 3 laps out here at Lime Rock Full. And then that will be followed by the 30 laps of racing. Collisions are on. Damage is turned on. The only thing that is asked here in the Forza Spec Racing Series is that you race clean. The drivers, as you will notice, are going to fit a variety of skill levels out here on the track. We're going to see some folks like RZ and McQueen who are going to do exceptionally well and quite possibly wipe the floor, just to really put it to the field here at the beginning of the season. Then you're going to see some folks who are a little bit behind, kind of the caboose of the train. Absolutely okay. Some of you all have already thrown in your Twitch bits, or not your Twitch bits, your channel points, your executables into the prediction, and you've got 2.5 minutes remaining here to cast your vote. Will we see 1 or 2 dirtied qualifying times, or will we see 3 or more? I'm actually quite surprised that the majority of you, 98% of you, are saying that it will just be 1 or 2 folks who post a dirtied qualifying time here during the qualifying session, the three laps of qualifying. 1 out lap, standing start, and then the 2 flying laps. Slow Motion Fire reminding me that I need to go into spectate mode. Perfect. Yep, I forgot. It got reset when we reset the lobby, so all good there. And let's see here. We've got a couple of drivers who are just waiting to ready up, possibly setting up their car last minute. And like many series that you'll find not only throughout the Forza community, but in any racing game, and of course real-world motorsport as well, the drivers who qualify with the fastest time will be placed at the front of the pack. Those who have the slower times will be at the back of the pack, and those who do post a dirty lap, that is to mean that at some point during a lap, they got too many wheels off the racing surface, and so the game says, well, just to make sure that you're not getting any sort of advantage, that you're not making up time by doing that, we're going to go ahead and invalidate your lap. The quickest dirty lap will always be slower than the slowest clean lap. Let's go ahead and fire up the audio here. Y'all can hear the helicopter doing its whirly bird thing up overhead. SGR Chaos Fox. Heck, welcome back, Chaos Fox. And here we go. LS Barney going to lead them off the Sam Posey straightaway into turn number 1 for the beginning of qualifying. Let's see here if we can try to make a guess of what the theme is. Oh, we've got all kinds of loading screens. I don't know if we're losing people. We are. So it looks like they're going to go ahead and back out. And with that, we'll take a look at the schedule here, the Season 39 schedule. False start. Try it again. Restart. No worries. It'll be Lime Rock Full and then Sonoma. 2 great tracks. I mean, we've got a little track day car here in the Miata, probably one of the most widely used track day cars that you will find anywhere in the world, in any corner of the globe where they sell the Miata. There should be a healthy representation here of Mazda. This is going to be good. I mean, this car is born for this. This is the exact environment that it thrives in, not as a high-performing supercar machine, but as a close, nice and capable car. It's not going to be too overwhelming. It's not going to be too daunting. At the same time, it's not going to be so crazy quick that we're going to be burning through laps left and right, but it's going to give us a good balance of close racing action while at the same time allowing folks who maybe are a little bit newer to the virtual motorsport scene or maybe newer to Forza Motorsport, give them a chance to get acquainted with the physics, find out who their rival is out there on the track, and see if we can't get somebody to beat RZ and McQueen. Trying to go 3 for 3 over the last 3 seasons. We got Mortismo in here. Mortismo saying good luck all. Big J Bishop let me know that it is a restart. Sure enough. And it looks like all the drivers in pretty quick fashion here, getting readied up. So we should be out in the track very soon. FaZe Eagle with the host. Thank you, FaZe. Thank you very much. Let me see if I can turn my alerts on there so that we can actually see these things as they come through. There you go. And I'm going to turn down my audio a little bit here. It's a bit loud. There we go. Perfect. Slow Motion Fire says, been on vacation for too long. Let's try this. It's only been 3 weeks. 5 weeks of racing seems to go by like that. 3 weeks of off season seems to be almost an eternity. Here we go. Okay, Fox Jason D will now be the first off the grid as we see everybody else sitting there. There is a little bit of a delay, allowing the field to kind of spread itself out during qualifying, because even though the grid is ghosted to allow the drivers to be able to make their way through other cars and not be impeded to set their quickest lap, it can still be a little bit visually impairing when you're going into a corner and you have this silhouette or this ghost of a vehicle out there in front of you blocking the view ever so slightly. It's just that little nuisance that can do you in. Here comes Fox Jason D on the back straightaway, a little bit wide there onto the runoff area and on this standing start. That's okay. You've got the other 2 flying laps to really try to pin it down, and as he comes to the line, we'll throw those stats into the bottom left to give us an indication of how long it's going to take here, the 1990 Miata, to get around the track, and across the line he goes with what looks to be about 3/4 of the grid still sitting on the line waiting for their mark to go. And now Fox Jason D with a 107.899 to his name heads into turn number 1 and 2. Let's go to RZ and McQueen, our back-to-back champion at this point. Barf Monkey crossing the line with a 103.743. Mark McQueen down the no-name straight, coming to the back half of the course. And for those of you who are familiar with Lime Rock, you'll notice that they don't have that little chicane, the little squiggly S going back uphill. Nope, they've opted for the full track, which is just a straight shot, a right-hander up. And then they'll avoid the jut out here, just back a couple of turns, and instead they'll come charging straight down the hill. And gosh, look at the number of cars we still have sitting on the lap, on the start line. I don't know if the start delay for the field is a little bit exaggerated, set too high, or what, because we're going to have drivers who are finished with their qualifying session before some of these drivers even get off the line, because RZ McQueen on his 3rd and final qualifying lap. Let's go back a little bit here. Fear the Fun. He's got the Ally car, so it looks like they've opted for real-world business liveries in Season 39. Ally Bank there for Fear the Fun. Here comes Slow Motion Fire back behind him. Making the cars not only drive good, or at least fit for their liking, their driving style, but also making them look good. Getting them all painted up. You'll notice that the green number boards are on the majority of vehicles out there. Those are the drivers who have raced in the Forza Spec Racing Series at least one season prior to season 39, and those with an orange number board are new to the series. Oh gosh, getting all kinds of jitteriness on the screen. Let me see if I can't solve that. There we go. Looks like that's been fixed. I like it when I can fix things with a touch of a button without having to restart OBS. Here comes Fear the Fun now down the no-name straight for the third time. His go. Cratrim right now with a 58.796, so we're going to see some sub-minute times. And now Cratrim getting ready to cross the line for the third time. Will he beat his own? No, he won't, because he's going to go ahead and cross the line. And I'm guessing, well, because they've got ghosted cars, if he would have flipped that onto the track, it wouldn't have been an issue. I know some drivers in seasons past, when it's during the race and those who are on the lead lap, when they come flipping around the start-finish line, for those who are trying to make their lap back, can be quite the obstruction. And now here comes Kuda 93 with the Barbie car. Look at that. I don't think Barbie's ever owned a Miata, has she? I think she's more of a Chevy Corvette gal. Don't they have a Barbie Corvette as a toy? And Miata, I don't know. I don't think there's been one, but there is now. And Kuda across the line. Nobody's been able to beat Cratrium's time, so right now it'll be Cratrium who is on pole. RZ McQueen's car is in AI mode, so he won't be able to set a quicker time than what he's got right now. Let's go back to Fear the Fun in the Ally car. And actually, Fear the Fun might be done with qualifying as well. I think he is. He's in AI mode. Let's go to Audrex, who currently has the 9th quickest time and might be able to move up a little bit more. I know he's hoping. And I've lost the race stats, so apparently we're not going to be able to see, apart from the bar up above, not going to be able to see who's where. And looks like maybe a little bit more than half the field now has finished their qualifying session. We've got Grim, your boy Jacoby, Joe Beardy, Ovation, waiting to set their final lap time. I think she was a vet head, says Xander13. Xander, welcome back. Good to see you again. That's what I'm thinking. I'm pretty sure there was a Barbie Corvette at one point. And then I think I've seen Barbie Mercedes and others. Hummer. It was a red vet? No, it couldn't have been a red vet. The Barbie cars are always pink. Maybe it was like a dark pink. And there goes Audrex with Slipstream back behind him across the line. Again, I think these two might be done already. And it's just their AI getting around. Let's go to your boy Jacoby, who seems to be one who is finishing things up. He's got a whole slew of AI cars staring him down as they take the same line. You look at that, the AI cars, like a single file formation. The exact same racing line between the three of those. And here comes Jacoby with that orange number plate. First time racing here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. Flofi says, well, disconnect before finishing a flying lap. So Floofy maybe mid-pack to back of the pack, depending on how that standing start was. Let's go ahead and take a look at those qualifying times. A 58.995 there for RZM McQueen. OK Fox Jason D with a 102.7. Barf Monkey with a 59.9, able to get underneath that 1 minute mark. Same can be said there for Audrex with a 59.700. Weisenmitten with a 101.553. That's a dirty lap. 1. SGR Chaos Fox at 1 minute 398. LS Barney with a 59.485. Cratrim with a 58.796 is good enough for pole position. 102.592 there for Slim Jim. Fear the Fun with a 59.6. A 1 quadruple aught 6 there for Foon Tang. 102.555 for Savage Reaper. Born as Ghost with a 59.559. 59.549 for Kuda. Toya Sama back in the Forza Spec Racing Series with a 59.551. Slow Motion Fire with a 1 minute 9. Slipstream with a 59.366, a 103.983 there for Grim. Ovation with a 101.238. Stevie Superstack with a 59.124, a 112.315 for your boy Jacoby. And then you see Joe Beardy and Floofy both with a couple of qualifying times. However, they DNF, so they were unable to get a time below the 1 minute mark. For those of you who said that there would only be 1 or 2 dirtied qualifying laps, congratulations, you win. Although there weren't so many points to be won there for the other side, who said that there would be 3 or more. So there you go. Let's go ahead and start ourselves another prediction. These channel points, as proven during the 24 hours of SnowRunner, very, very important here on the channel, the X Venture channel, and they'll be very, very important moving into the month of April. So continue to rack up the points, and you can do that by just simply watching the broadcast. But then also, if you want to wager and you want to gamble, a little gambling with channel points that are not real currency, then by all means do so, and perhaps you can win yourself a few more. Let me see here. Will Cratrium win race 1? Will he do it? Yes or no? I'm going to go ahead and give you all 20 minutes on this one. That's going to be quite a run. So you can set your prediction accordingly. And, of course, you can wait until a little bit later on to see how things are going there for Cratrium in the race. There's no harm in that. That's a viable strategy. And I will now turn to the driver's spotlight to see if we've got anybody who is ready to give us a little bit of chat here. LS Barney hopping in there. LS Barney taking a look at the leaderboard. You've got a 59.485. I'm going to guess that puts you at about row 3 or 4. Are you satisfied?
I am satisfied with the top 5. I could have done a faster lap time and gotten in the second row, but I'm still glad I got top 5.
What tripped you up in qualifying that could have gotten you maybe another second or 2?
Dirtying lap 1. I dirtied the last sector of lap 1, and it ruined lap 2, so I had the final lap for a chance at a good time, which I know I could have done better.
Okay, and so what's tricky about Lime Rock here? I mean, we've got a slower car, D400, that's jumping down quite a bit from the A-Class 360 Stradale that we had a season ago. Do you have a lot of stick time with this car? Have you been able to practice a bit, or are you kind of practicing as we go throughout the season?
As per usual, I'm just practicing as it goes on, but the big problem with this car is it just likes to slide out, even with like 150 horsepower, how much it has. It just, under braking and deceleration, it just has no grip in the rear, which causes a lot of problems during the high-speed corners in Sector 2.
Have you heard if any of the drivers have been able to work that out via tuning, or is everybody pretty much a consensus here that the car, despite its diminutive size and what would seem like a wonderful track day car, has its flaws, and those things just can't be corrected? Which is it?
I think some people have gotten close to figuring it out. I'm sure it'll be easier to drive as we go on in the season and people figure out the tuning more. But as it is right now, it's a little bit slidey still, but it's much more easier to handle than it was to like test and tune.
What part of this track will make or break you here in this race? 30 laps around Lime Rock full.
Final corner, easily. It's one of those corners where if you want to have time, you have to go flat. But going flat is a 50-50 chance of going off into the grass or having a good run down the straight. And it's really the only place to overtake is the final corner.
Tricky proposition that too, with the thinking about throwing the accelerator to the metal there in that final corner. Not only like you had said, you can run wide, but on a shorter track like this, odds are you're going to be around traffic. 90% of the time in that corner. I don't think you're going to be solo all that often.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult having to have like 20. We have 23 cars
Yep.
here, and a full lobby on this small track is going to be a bit of a pain, especially for the drivers at the back.
Tell us a little bit of a fun question here, just ahead of the racing. What was the theme here for the liveries in season 39, and what's the story behind your car?
The themes were supposed to be realistic, but when I saw the first Gen Miata, I thought back to my first league event car, which was also a Miata and had a very similar paint to this. And it was when I was new to Forza, so I was awful at doing liveries. So I just made a terrible livery and pretended to make it bad on purpose. But that was just the extent of my skill. And it still
Yeah.
is the extent of my skill, so that's just how this ended up.
We'll get the camera on here during the race so that folks can see it. But it's a bunch of we're talking LS Barney, so it's a bunch of Barneys plastered all over the Miata. There you go. DW Frog likes it. All right, Ellis Barney. Any other thoughts before you hit the track?
Not that I can think of.
All righty. Best of luck to you.
Thanks.
All right, there goes Barney in the Barney car. We'll see it out there as he gets around the track. 30 laps here out at Lime Rock Full. There are no cautions in the Forza Spec Racing Series. If there is ever a point where they feel like they need to restart the race, they have the organizers have the authority to do so. However, that's usually reserved until the final race of the season, week number 5, which is an endurance event. And this season it'll be out at the Indianapolis Grand Prix. These week 1 to week 4 races, you're not typically, if ever, going to see a restart there. So keeping the race clean, that is key. And that means going into that final corner, keep the throttle pinned down to the ground if you dare. Otherwise, be careful. Navigate lap traffic. Or if you are the lap traffic, be mindful of those on the lead lap who are sneaking up behind you. And hopefully everybody can come out of the race relatively unscathed. We're going to see it probably at least 1 or 2 drivers have to head into pit lane to get some repairs there. Slow Motion Fire says we're getting ready to go. Joe Beardy says, I'll be driving the struggle bus tonight. Beep, beep. I forgot. I got rid of my truck horn. Otherwise, I would hit the truck horn button on the soundboard. It was replaced by a few other sounds from the 24 hours of SnowRunner. And here we go. Load them up out here at Lime Rock. It'll be Cratrium on the pole spot. He will dictate the start of this race. As soon as he pulls away, everybody else can depart. Arzin McQueen opposite of him there on the left-hand side. Also on row number 1, but in P2. Kick the tires, ladies and gentlemen, and light the fires. Season 39 of the Forza Spec Racing Series is underway in the 1990 MX-5 Miata, and here they go into turn number 1 and 2. It's going to be McQueen who stays in second position as Cratrium with a heck of a start now, already about 2-3 car lengths out in front. Stevie Superstack in third, CMB Slipstream in fourth, Barney in fifth, Kuda in 6th, then it's Born as Ghost, Toyosama, Audrex, and Fear the Fun, 7th through 10th position. Down the no-name straight they come into that right-hander, which will take you up the hill. Because they are out of qualifying now, you're going to see some drivers who are going to swing this a little bit wide, just like RZ McQueen did right there, and that's okay. The drivers have been given permission to go ahead and do so and use that runoff area. McQueen's going to get a couple of tires off into the dirt here as he gets ready to line it up for the right-hander, that final right-hander that we were just talking to LS Barney about, and the charge down toward the start line for the end of lap number 1. Stevie Superstack there, right on the heels of RZ and McQueen, not able to get around too quickly. Here comes Stevie. He's going to look to the inside. He makes contact with RZ and McQueen. RZ and McQueen goes ahead and slides it out, brings it back down toward the apex, clips LS Barney, and now he spins it around and drops into 11th position. Stevie Superstack will move up into second, and I believe that leaves then for third position. Let's see who goes to third. No, actually, Stevie Superstack is in third. Slipstream has moved up a spot to second. And with that, RZ and McQueen is going to have to make a hard charge back up through the field to have a shot at grabbing himself a podium spot. Heck, top 5, top 8 might be very difficult, especially in this race. And there goes Stevie now down the hill, showing in third, and he's got Toyo Sama now, who's moved up. I think I read him out as in 6th or 7th, now finds himself up to 4th, and part of that might have been due to the incident here at turn number 1 just a lap ago, with LS Barney getting tangled up there with RZ and McQueen, and that kind of slowed up the pack a little bit. And if you had the right line, the high line going through 1 and 2, which is not typically where you want to be, but in that case, missing the action, that was definitely the ideal line. Here goes Stevie Superstack with Toya Sama right behind him, and let's go ahead and jump back to the X-Venture rewind there to see what happened going into turn number 1 once again. And it's Stevie Superstack with that look to the insides, and I don't know if McQueen was putting on a blocking maneuver or if he was just lining it up for turn number 1. Then he dropped back out in front of LS Barney, and LS Barney was the one who got him swung around. Of course, not LS Barney's fault. He was just he was doing his best to stay out of the way or keep from making contact. And when RZ McQueen jumped out in front of him, there was no choice but to make contact. There goes Stevie back into turn number 3. Toyo Sama now looking to the low line as Stevie's on the high side. Kuda in 5th, Floofy in 6th, Barney in 7th, Audrex is 8th, Born as Ghost in 9th, Barf Monkey in 10th position. Then it's Joe Beardy, Foontang, Chaos Fox, Slow Motion Fire, Fear the Fun, RZ and McQueen back there in 16th. RZ and McQueen almost saved it. He almost did save it. Slipstream falling off the pace a little bit. That or Stevie Superstack, and Toyo Sama might be catching up. Not entirely sure which one it is, but there they go. 3 and 4, make that 2 and 3. Into the final right-hander and coming up toward the line for the beginning of lap number 5. And Stevie's going to run to the inside here of Slipstream. I don't know if Slipstream had a gear slip or just missed his shift mark or what, because he was well off the pace down the straightaway. Let's go ahead and take a look at his vehicle situation and see if maybe he's got a little bit of damage to that car. No transmission damage that I can see, so that didn't slow him up. It was maybe just coming out that right-hander. Didn't have it lined up the way that he wanted to and have to come off the accelerator a bit, and that's all it will take in these slower cars to have folks doing a little joyride around you. And with that, Slipstream now dropping back to 4th because Toyo Sama also getting around him. Behind Slipstream, it's Kuda in 5th, Floofy in 6th, Barney in 7th, and kind of on a bit of a McQueen watch now at this point. McQueen has moved up to 14th. Flying Turd says McQueen did that on purpose. He'll be back. I don't know if he did that on purpose. I'm not sure that's something you necessarily want to do on purpose, but I have a feeling he will be back in it. Top 5, top 8, heck, maybe even top 5 possible here with more than 2/3 of the race remaining. And there goes Slipstream. He's going to get what looked to be close to 3 tires off into the dirt. That's going to allow Kuda to close that gap between he and Slipstream from 4th to 5th. Floofy still hanging tight there in 6th position. No movement yet. Let's go back to Barney in 7th. We talked to in the driver's spotlight before the race got kicked off. And you'll notice there the vibrant green on the back and the purple up front. And then up there on the hood and on those front quarter panels are just a bunch of Barneys. Beautiful, beautiful Barneys. Into turn number 1, lap 7. Let's go to Audrex in 8th position. He's got the Cobra Kai represented here. And LS Barney going to step it out onto the dirt. Try to make the recovery. He's just giving us a little show, says Flying Turd, talking about RZ and McQueen. Oh, and we've got their Slipstream. He's caught up in another incident. And your boy Jacoby, and actually Slipstream, not in an incident earlier, but now has been caught up on the back straightaway. And those two are having to get themselves all kinds of sorted out. And is there some damage? There is a little bit of transmission damage there to Slipstream's car, probably as he was rowing through the gears, trying to turn it right back around and get onto the track. Your boy Jacoby, a newcomer here to the Forza Spec Racing Series. Let's take a look at his vehicle situation. No damage whatsoever. So he'll make a recovery and keep it out of pit lane. Craytrim right now with a commanding lead, and you've got 6 minutes and 8 seconds to go ahead and cast your vote as to whether or not Craytrim is going to win this one. There are quite a bit of channel points, executables on the line for those of you who say yes. Right now, those who voted no were going bold, and I'm thinking that was with the expectation that Arzian McQueen would be in the picture a bit more. Let's go ahead and move up through the field. Let's go to 5th with Kuda as he crosses the line here for lap number 9 in that Barbie car. And now Toyo-sama in 3rd. Toyo-sama, we saw appear, I believe, in season 37, was unable to participate for that entire season. And now here he is in the top 3 as of right now and chasing down Stevie Superstack. Let's go ahead and ride on board with Toya. You see there, they are coming around Jacoby, Stevie Superstack, and Toya are. They make a clean pass. And back there behind them in 4th is SGR Floofy. Let's see if he can manage to sneak by. He does on the inside, it looks like, there as they come down the hill. Hooks it for the right-hander and should be okay. He is. So things have become a little bit spread out here from 1st on back to 4th. Let's go to 8th with Born as Ghost. He's got LS Barney in front of him as they go into turn number 1. I'm Dustin Moore on the microphone. Great to be back with the Forza Spec Racing Series Season 39, one of the longest run community leagues that you will find in the Forza community, and it is a damn good one. More information at reddit.com/r/FM4. However, keep in mind, Slow Motion Fire has told me that they are stacked with drivers, not only on the main 23 car grid, but then also on their reserve list. A lot of folks showing interest in participating this season. And so if you are curious about being a part of the action moving forward, then it might be great to go ahead and set your sights on season 40, which will be coming up probably in about 8 weeks' time. There in May, I think beginning of May. Across the line goes Born as Ghost. He's got Barf Monkey on the outside of him there in 9th position. They're going to go side by side. Look at this. Well done. Barf Monkey, however, with the U.S. Air Force livery on the inside, he's going to have the advantage. And just like that, Barf Monkey making a nice little pass on Born as Ghost, who drops back to 9th position in the White Rain Mazda MX-5. Audrex in 6th position, and we'll take a nice little rewind, a look there at the pass by Barf Monkey. That was a good one. Kuda 93 close to going off into the grass there. Audrex, because Kuda probably had to do a little bit of work to save that one. Audrex going to be able to make a move, and now Audrex with a beautiful, beautiful pass there around Kuda into turn number 1. LS Barney there, you see him back in 7th position. Trying to come back into the fold after that incident on lap number 2. That was not his fault. There goes Barney now, making a move around Kuda on the no-name straightaway, and side by side they go. Kuda is going to be left behind, and now here comes Audrex, sliding it out a little bit back up the hill. Perhaps a bit of what LS Barney was telling us in the driver's spotlight prior to this race, that the car, despite its track day, almost inherent track day form, can be a little bit unwieldy. One of those two. I think it's the LY version. Audrex across the line. Lap 14 of 20, actually 30, and 31st lap there in the top left. That'll be your cool down lap. And the predictor is about wrapped up. For those of you who wish to say that Cratchroom will win the race, you've only got a matter of seconds here to cast your vote to try to win some of those points. You've got 8.1 thousand executables on the other side to be won. Can you get them in time? I see the pink line starting to disappear, or the purple line. And just like that, it is closed. Ooh. I don't know if those are all LS Barney, but there's some points that are going to move over. Savage Reaper in a good spot right now. Let's go to Barf Monkey in 8th. He got around Born His Ghost, and he is just barely holding on to it right now. Although between he and Born His Ghost, they are starting to catch up with 7th position, that being Kuda. Xander13 says, I'd take part, but the school schedule doesn't seem to get along with this. Understandable. Priorities. One day. I mean, they've been doing this. Oh, and there goes Barf Monkey up into the tire wall. He clips it. There goes RZ McQueen now up to 9th position. And how Born His Ghost was able to avoid making contact, I have no clue. Barf Monkey with severe damage to that car now into 12th position, and he's going to lose a lot more before heading into pit lane. Let's go to LS Barney now, who finds himself in 6th. Audrex out in front of him. And then in 7th, it's still Kuda. LS Unku says, what is it with people crashing in any race as soon as I turn in, Unku? That's it, Unku. You're not allowed to watch any racing at all. Welcome to the broadcast. Great to have you here. Here comes Audrex making a way around Savage Reaper. Barney does so as well as they go to the right-hander. Barney's a little bit wide. He's able to avoid the tire wall. Brings it back within track limits. Kuda got stuck behind Savage Reaper there coming up the hill, and so Kuda losing a little bit of ground here on 6th. Let's go back to that incident there with Barf Monkey, unfortunately, grabbing the tire wall. Oh, I see what happened. Oh, gosh. I still don't understand how Born His Ghost was able to scoot on past without, I won't say without contact, but without contact that would have had him going into pit lane. Any contact they must have made, it would have been a bit of a scrape, and that's all. But yes, Barf Monkey clipped the curbing on the inside of this right-hander where Barney's going through right now, and it unsettled the 1900 pound MX-5 Miata. 156 horsepower, 135 foot-pounds of torque. D400 class here in Forza Motorsport 7. Here comes Floofy in third position. He's opted for the SGR, the Scrubs Go Racing colors in that metallic purple. That's a beautiful looking car. He makes a little bit of contact there with OK Fox Jason D. Fox Jason D goes ahead and dispatches himself to the outside line, allowing both Floofy and Toyo Sama to get on past. Is it Audrex or AWD Rex? So I'm trying to remember, in my very early days of commentating the Forza Spec Racing Series, I believe I used to call him AW Drex. And then I think he corrected me saying it's like Drex, like AWWW Drex. So that's what I've been going with. Whether or not that's supposed to like capture the AWD Rex that you're seeing there flying turd, I don't know. But Audrex is what I was given to how to pronounce it. And I think that was after season 1 he corrected me pretty swiftly. LS Barney in 6th, Kuda in 7th. McQueen now has made his way up to 8th position. So I said top 10, maybe top 8, possibly top 5. And with 1/3 of the race remaining here, a little bit more than 1/3 of the race remaining, McQueen in a good spot to vie for the top 5. Now he's got some pretty skilled drivers, competition out in front of him to make that move. Kuda in 7th, Barney in 6th, Audrex in 5th, and Toyo Sama in 4th if McQueen wants to fight for a top 4 and then possibly even top 3. There goes McQueen a little bit wide. P3 right now occupied by SGR Floofy. Across the line he goes, and here we go, lap number 20 of 30. 11 laps remaining. We've got some good, we've got somebody on the back straightaway. That's going to be Barf Monkey, I think, depending on how the timing's working for me here on the map. It looks like Barf Monkey might have, well, nope, that's Barf Monkey right there. Going through the final turn, we had somebody turned around on the back straightaway. Let's go to OK Fox Jason D, who's in 19th position. And look at this, he's going to make a run here on, well, no, actually, I take it back. It's LS Barney. Lead lap traffic getting around Fox Jason D. And let's see here, whoever that is on the back straightaway now just able to make a recovery. That is going to be 20th position of Savage Reaper. He'll be doing good on the executables, the channel points, not so hot in the race here. Of course, the executable bit, assuming that Crate Room wins the race, he's got Stevie Superstack behind him. This is, I don't know how it's happened, but this has become a much closer battle than what we saw earlier. Crate Room had what seemed to be a oversized lead early on in this one, and I don't know if maybe a little bit of the lap traffic has put a dent in that lead, because there's Stevie right there behind them by less than half a car length, half a Miata, as they come across the line for the beginning of lap 22. For those of you watching, and if you're enjoying the content here, it's only week number 1 and it's only race number 1. We've got another one coming at you here a little bit later on tonight. After this race has concluded, it'll be out at Sonoma, the short circuit, for 22 laps, not before the qualifying session happens, however. And then we've got 4 more weeks of racing after this. 5 weeks here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. They take your top 4 weeks worth of points. Those are your championship points. You have the most at the end of it. You win the bragging rights, and you get to pick the vehicle for season number 40. RZ McQueen, with the incident earlier on in this race, was our season 38 champion, but also the season 37 champion. And if he can make things happen again here in season 39, he'd be the first back-to-back-to-back champion in the annals of Forza Spec Racing Series history. My internet is terrible tonight, Bic44, so I'm only listening. I've never heard a gaming racing announcer, but I have heard TV announcers for racing, and you sound like one of them, says Bic. Bic, I mean, I'm as amateur as they come. There's some absolutely fantastic racing game commentators, and we've got a couple of tires spinning around in the background. That looks like Floofy caught up there, and who else was that? Oh no. And of course there's a whole slew of cars that are trying to get by, which is making it difficult for me to go ahead and pick the car that's turned around, but it looks like it's Slim Jim. But I'm pretty sure that was Floofy who made contact with him. Maybe not. Floofy is still in fourth and doesn't seem to be damaged at all. So it was another vehicle painted with purple. I captured that one on the X-Venture Rewind. We'll take a look at it here in just a second. And our race leader now, Stevie Superstack, heading out of the no-name straight, makes the move around Cratrium in that Supercuts car. And here on lap 24, we've got a new leader, Stevie. Another driver who's been extremely competitive here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. I just don't think he's been able to chain together a full season. And right now, showing up nicely. Coming up to the start-finish line to set it to 6 laps remaining in this race. Cratrium, though, holding tight. He's going to look to the inside. Cratrium with a little bit of late braking. You see the front disc glowing there. He goes to the inside. He's still there. He's still there. And he's got it. Well, they're going to line it up here for the first left-hander out on the track. And with that, Stevie goes ahead and reclaims first position. And now into the right-hander as they go around Slim Jim, who we saw in the tire wall about a lap or two ago. As we'll go back to that to try to identify who that might have been. I don't know. That looks like Floofy to me, but Floofy must have made a pretty good recovery without any damage. That was definitely an SGR car, and my SGR Floofy, I think, is the only one who is out on the track. We don't have Chaos. Actually, we do have Chaos Fox. Chaos Fox is out there. Chaos Fox running right now in 14th position as we continue to watch our race leaders here in Stevie and Cratrium. What's up, Ghibli Giblets? I just arrived. Good to see that your fingers didn't fall off from the 24-hour stream. I made it to about 22 and a half hours. Wow. Well done. Commendable. Commendable. And now our race leader is having to deal with Jacoby, and it was almost 3 wide down that final straightaway, and fortunately for Stevie and Cratrium, Jacoby went ahead and dropped back a little bit to give these two room to move through that final right-hander. Lap 27 begins now. Sprzow's here saying, interesting shakeup across the board in first race. Not just McQueen, who looks like he's recovering, currently in 7th position, but Kuda driving really well, while Joe Beardy is struggling. Did he wreck? I believe there was an incident that included Joe Beardy, but I don't think it was. A huge incident. So it might be a combination of a little bit of a mistake and just not the driving he's looking for here in race 1. But who knows? Maybe we'll get Joe or any one of the other drivers into the driver's spotlight at the conclusion of this race. We continue to hang out here with Krajtrim, who's in 2nd position. Let's run through the field. It's Floofy in 3rd. Toyo Sama pretty much right on top of him there in 4th position. Audrex in 5th. McQueen has worked his way around LS Barney for 6th position. So Barney drops back to 7th. Kuda in 8th. Fear the Fun hanging out in the top 10. Well done by Fear the Fun. He's had some not so hot races over the last couple of seasons, but this is a good debut. 10th position is occupied by Funtang. And then well behind him is Slipstream, who has been on the wrong side of a few incidents here in this one. He's in 11th, Born as Ghost in 12th, Slow Motion Fire in 13th, Barf Monkey also not having a very clean race. He got up into the tire wall all by himself. He's fallen back to 14th position. That severely damaged his car. He had to go into pit lane with that one. SGR Chaos Fox in 15th, Ovation in 16th, Joe Beardy in 17th, Fox Jason D is 18th. Then it's Grim, Savage Reaper, Slim Jim, your boy Jacoby, 19th through 22nd, and then Weisenmitten, I believe, is our DNF here in race number 1. And here we go. The white flag has flown with Stevie and Krajtrim scooting across the line. And it's going to be a battle to the finish, to the checkers. Can Stevie hold on to it? He's got a few cars of lap traffic out in front of him. Your boy Jacoby, and he goes ahead and puts Jacoby and Krajtrim with a daring move. He knew he had to get by Jacoby, otherwise there'd be absolutely no chance. He makes it happen. Now he's still about 3 car lengths behind, although there are a few more cars out in front of Stevie, to include SGR Chaos Fox as they come down the hill into the final right-hander. Stevie's going to go ahead and just wait there on the back bumper of SGR Chaos Fox, and then perhaps he'll use a little bit of the slipstream, and across the line, Stevie Superstack at the top of the podium here in race number 1 in season 39. Krajtrim, after leading about 24 of the laps, falls back to 2nd. Floofy in 3rd. Toyo Sama with a wonderful run here in the debut of season 39, the opening week. 4th place, Audrex in 5th. McQueen will grab 6th, just shy of a top 5. LS Barney in 7th. Kuda in 8th. 9th goes to Fear the Fun. Funtang in 10th. Slipstream coming around the final right-hander for 11th, followed by Born as Ghost, Slow Motion Fire, Barf Monkey, Chaos Fox, Ovation in 16th, then Joe Beardy, Fox Jason D, Grim, Savage Reaper, Slim Jim, your boy Jacoby, and Weisenman finishing in, well, actually, Weisenman with a DNF finishing in 23rd position. All right, folks, you know the drill, or if you don't, let me go ahead and tell you what the drill is. I'm going to take note of where everybody finished. We'll see if anybody wants to join us here in the driver's spotlight. I'm going to go ahead and run some ads, 3 minutes worth. For those of you who are not subscribers, if you'll go ahead and just deal with the ads over the next couple of minutes, I promise you're not going to miss any of the action whatsoever. It does support the broadcast. It allows those who might be joining us a little bit later on to avoid those pre-rolls when they roll in so that they can get straight to the racing action. And for those of you who wish you find value to the channel, you can subscribe either with a paid subscription or a Prime Gaming sub, which is included with your Amazon Prime account. And you can support the stream that much more for ad-free viewing, emotes, and you get a little bit of a bonus, a little bit of a multiplier there with the executables. I'm going to run those ads. We'll play some music for those of you who do not have the ads, and then we'll be right back. Driver's Spotlight getting ready for race number 2 of the evening here in week number 1 out at Sonoma Short. I'm Dustin Moore. You're watching the Forza Spec Racing Series live on Twitch TV. Welcome back to X Venture on Twitch TV. Race number 1 here in Season 39 has concluded with Stevie Superstack coming away with the win. Cratrium falling back into second. SGR Floofy rounding out the top 3. Let's go ahead and bring into the driver's spotlight Fear the Fun. Well done, sir. You scooted off of your finishing order before I was able to record it, but it was definitely a top 10.
Exactly.
What'd you say exactly?
It was a 9th exactly.
A ninth. You said 9th, right?
9th.
Okay.
N-I-N.
You got 9th position. That's not too bad. And I think you were telling me either during the 24 hours of Snow Runner or maybe it was back on Friday with Farming Simulator 19 that this is a pretty bit of a handful of a car, which was kind of surprising to me.
Yeah, it's a little butt heavy. It likes to wag its tail a little bit, but it's not bad. For me, at least. For other people, it's a different story.
You're able to manage that top 10 finish in 9th position there. Quite the bit of a few incidents out there in the top 10, even in the top 6, I think there was at one point. So it seems like you were able to avoid all of those.
One where old McQueen was going back around, and then the same lap coming onto the last corner, I tagged the grass and got a little sideways. Went from 5th to 14th and got back into 9th at the end of the race.
And now we're going to take what we saw there out at Lime Rock. We're going to cross the country down to California, Sonoma to be exact, and the Sonoma Raceway, the short circuit. So I think kind of similar tracks. A lot of windy bits. You got the elevation change. Do you go with the same tune, or do you change it up a little bit here in the Miata?
I'm gonna use the same tune, but I'm not expecting a great finish because the last 2 races we've done here, I've wrecked both. I wrecked in front of Carryout and I wrecked in front of Joe.
What part of the track in particular, if there is?
Right after start finish line, when you're going up to the top left,
yeah.
I've grabbed the inside tire wall right there.
The inside tire wall.
Yeah,
Oh, so you're trying too far in.
I'm trying too hard.
Trying too hard. I thought you were going to say you run it wide, you go into that grass, and then of course it's a long haul up the hill through the grass. Talking with Fear the Fun here in the driver's spotlight, finishing 9th out at Lime Rock. You've got the Ally Bank car. What inspired you with that livery here for season 39?
The Cadillac DPI that ran this year with Jimmy Johnson and a few other people that I don't really quite remember.
Okay.
I was literally searching through the old Googles because I'm not a very creative person, so I typed in race car livery and it popped up, and that's what I chose.
Gotcha. And so you say you're not a very creative person. Does that mean you just searched for what would inspire you, and then you created it, or you looked for one that somebody already done?
I looked for something somebody else did, and then I copied it.
Okay. There you go. That's the way to do it.
I'm not a proud man. I see something, I like it, I click.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. As we see the schedule there for season 39, you're not expecting necessarily anything good here, but if you could start out well with a good qualifying time, what row are you hoping to be in here for? I mean, obviously row 1 would be ideal for everybody, but realistically, what row do you think you're going to fall in here after qualifying?
If I can be in the top 5, I'll be happy. If I get to maybe the 3rd row, that'd be nice.
Okay.
I didn't put much practice time in here, but I do enjoy Sonoma when I'm not crashing at it, so.
Very good. Well, we've got some not necessarily new names, but drivers who have returned who are very competitive. Stevie Superstack, obviously, after winning there at Lime Rock, and then also Toyo Osama. So that means that it's going to be that much more competitive on the overall leaderboard at the end of the season.
Toyo Osama is sneaky quick. I'm going to have a hard time sticking with him going fast. I'd also like to give a shout out to returning people in Slim Jim. And hold on, let me go. I got to get everybody. Floofy's back for a second season. Wisen's back for a second season. Ovation's back. Your boy Jacoby's new. Savage Reaper's back. There's a good 5, 6, or 7 people that are either new or back for their second season.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Soul Motion Fire gave me kind of a rundown of the who's who, and you guys have quite an extensive reserve list too. So it's awesome to see that folks are interested in the Forza Spec Racing Series, and that some of the new names were able to make it to the roster. And despite the fact that there looked like there was maybe a few incidents that had involved the back markers there at Lime Rock, I suspect things will stay relatively clean, much like we saw there at Lime Rock. I mean, sure, yeah, a few wrecks, but not too bad.
They can't blame me for nothing because I didn't touch nobody.
He's going to absolve himself. He wants to make it very clear that he had no part in it. Fear the Fun, best of luck to you in qualifying. Stay away from that infield tire wall there, turn 1.
I'm going to try. Thanks, bud.
Yep. All right, and then real quick here before we head out to the track for the qualifying session, your boy Jacoby, Fear the Fun had just mentioned you. You're a newcomer here to the Forza Spec Racing Series. Maybe not the debut that you would wish there in race number 1 at Lime Rock, but hey, you're learning the ropes, right?
Yeah, I'm actually using a wheel, so I would like to think that's my excuse for being so bad out there. But
there you go.
Yeah, I had the wheel and I've played some Assetto course. I'm like, you know what? I just found out about this, so I'm gonna give it a go as a reserve driver, see what I can do. But I think next week I'm probably, if I'm driving, I'm going to use a controller.
Swap over to the controller. Gotcha.
Mhm.
And so tell us a little bit about your background. I know it looks like they're still waiting for a lot of folks to ready up, so I think we got a little bit of time here. I think you had mentioned Assetto Corsa. So what's your background in terms of virtual racing, and how long have you been in Forza Motorsport?
Well, I played some Forza Motorsport 6, a few years ago.
Yeah.
Played some Forza Motorsport 7, but I'm actually just kind of getting back into it. It's been several months since I played. I played a lot of Horizon 4, which I know is a bit different, but
Yeah.
and I've played a little bit of Assetto. I just got it. I was kind of dipping my toes into the sim racing world.
Okay.
To see, and then maybe after doing some single player stuff in there, I'll try doing some multiplayer racing.
Have you noticed either through practice or just with the race out there at Lime Rock that there is a driver who is kind of equally skilled as you, and that's kind of your target here through season 39?
Hard to say. Because there's skill with the wheel and there's skill with the controller.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't feel like there really isn't, just because there's probably I don't know who else is new, but
Right.
even if they're new, they could have extensive experience.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see. That kind of remains to be seen, I think.
In what experience you do have with racing virtually, is there a particular track? We're about to head out to Sonoma Raceway, but is there one that you know better than any of the tracks?
I would say Road America.
Okay.
I know that's coming up, but I've actually, I live in Wisconsin, and I've been to Road America a few times in my life. And, kind of seeing it in person, I think it helps a little bit. But, also whenever I drive a car in here, I kind of like to take it to Road America as its test, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's a very good track to kind of set a baseline for your cars and work from there. Road America, the full alternate circuit, indeed on the schedule there. Week number 3, that's March 23rd, 11 laps around the full alternate. So that's that little, I think it's the bike course that has that little jut out on the back side of the track.
Yeah, it's got a little chicane.
Yeah. Yeah, so you missed having to take that right-hander at full speed, and instead you can line it up and drive straight through. Well, Jacoby, we'll keep our eye out for you here during qualifying, and best of luck to you in the 22 laps around Sonoma.
Yeah, I'm going to need all the luck I can get with the wheel.
Oh, cut it out. You'll do fine. You got it. All right, there you go. Jacoby, your boy Jacoby, getting ready for race number 2 here of the evening. 2 races each night, heading into the season on up to week number 5, and then week number 5, as you can see there on the schedule, on April the 6th, is out at the Indianapolis Grand Prix circuit for 40 laps. It is their capstone kind of mini endurance race where oftentimes pit strategy does play a factor, because rarely are there situations where the vehicle that's being used in any season can go that mini endurance race without having to stop at least once. So we'll see if that is the case with the MX-5 Miata, the 1990 MX-5 Miata at that. And so here we go back out into the lobby. We've got the drivers pretty much readied up and ready to go, and Slow Motion Fire telling us they're in the pit lane, the Twitch chat, that indeed we are about to get underway. Folks, please click that follow button if you're not yet following the channel. It's the very, very most that I ask of any of the viewers. Well, apart from keeping it family friendly and clean there in the chat, but if you click the follow button, lets me know as the broadcaster that you've enjoyed your time here. You'll get the notifications if you have them set up each time that I go live, but then also we'll be able to find your be able to find the X-Venture channel in your follow channel section on Twitch, both your PC, your browser on your PC, or with your mobile device, the mobile application. And thank you very much. 5 ways clicking the follow button. As up the hill goes Toyo-sama, back behind Kuda for the beginning of the 3 laps of qualifying. The short circuit here of Sonoma, it's a shorter circuit, but it's not the shortest track that you will find in Forza Motorsports by any stretch of the imagination. So we've got a pretty good one here. 22 laps means it's actually a bit longer than the Lime Rock track. I think maybe the shortest one that we've got on the schedule here for Season 39 would be the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit. Or possibly the Homestead Speedway. We're heading back to the Oval here in Season 39. That'll be a fun one to watch. Here comes Kuda and Toyosama occupying the same position. I ran the predictor poll to ask if we thought Stevie Superstack would get pulled. Now that's coming off of his victory out at Lime Rock. And just because you win a race doesn't necessarily mean that you're the quickest driver out on the track. You just happen to be so in that race. Stevie Superstack, as a matter of fact, I think finished in qualified in row number 2 or 3 out at Lime Rock for our first race of the evening. So we'll see where he falls in this one. RZ McQueen on the standing start with a 129.889. Sprazau says inside dirt from the part-time pit reporter. Beardy really struggling with the car, has switched from his tune to his a C-Tom or a Cratrium tune for qualifying. McQueen hasn't practiced on Sonoma yet. There you go. Sprazau's getting the inside line from our drivers heading into this race. Second race of the evening, second of 9 in Season 39. Toyosama right now with the 10th. Now make that the 11th quickest time as you see the number above changing to represent their standing amongst the other drivers. We'll go ahead and move up to, this is CUDA 93. So we didn't move much. Let's actually go to our qualifying leader right now. Cratrum with a 128.460. As he now makes it through the squiggly, curvy complex here out at Sonoma. We get some good camera views. Sonoma is one of those tracks where I think we've got some of the best replay or broadcast views here in Forza Motorsport 7. Unfortunately, they're not varied, so we'll get the same one time and time again, but at least it gives us a bit of a better view of the action than what we get at some of the tracks. You saw there at Lime Rock a lot of like panning camera views, which sometimes can make it very difficult to keep pace with what's going on around the car that the camera is focused on. This one has the camera zoomed out a little bit more as Cratrum coming up toward the start-finish line. Let's see if he can beat RZ McQueen's 126.4. He does not. RZ McQueen right now with the top qualifying time. Cratrum's got one more lap to try to make it happen. Let's go to 4th with Fear the Fun. He was hoping for a top 5 qualifying time. Right now, he's got the 5th quickest qualifying time. He was in 4th there. Not for long, though. We got the qualifying session. We've got the race, the 22-lapper that's coming up next. But then don't be so quick to jump out of the broadcast and go elsewhere. If you've got the time, hang out with me here on Xventure. We're going to talk about some cool and exciting broadcasts coming up here on the channel, but then also I've got six names to draw, 5 of which will win a $10 gift card to PlayStation, Xbox, or the Steam store, their choice. And then one name will win the $50 gift card to one of the 3 same stores. All of this coming out of our 24 hours of SnowRunner broadcast over the weekend. Oh, that was a fun one. I have a feeling we'll see some SnowRunner back at some point in the near future. RZ McQueen with that 126 now dropping it down to 0.1 of a second, making it that much quicker. And actually, Cratrium crossing the line with a 125.998. He does it again. At least for now, Cratrium looking to go back-to-back here with pole qualifying times, or at least qualifying times that put him on pole. That did not translate to a win there in race number 1 with Stevie winning it, but he did finish second. First place gets 50 points. Second place drops down to 47 points. And again, your top 4 weeks worth of points, those are all combined to establish your championship point total. That 5th and final week, race number 9, being that it's just one race, those points are doubled. So more oftentimes than not, drivers are looking to make the most of race number 9. And so anywhere between week 1 and week 4 is usually where you see people's drop weeks. You gotta be on point all the way up to that final week. All right, Craytrim is going to find himself on pole. It looks like it'll be McQueen opposite of him there in P2. Floofy right now with the 3rd quickest time, and then Slipstream. Stevie with the 5th. Toyo-sama the 6th quickest time. Now Fear the Fun dropping back to 7th. And any minute now, we'll be jumping out of the lobby. We'll see if there's anybody in the driver's spotlight who would love to chat. If you're watching right now and you just want to say hi, maybe you're lurking and just enjoying the racing action, but you want to say hi, please feel free to. Would love to know who's watching out there. At least just know your Twitch tag. You don't have to get all kinds of engaged in the conversation if you don't want to, but a hi is always nice, and I'll throw a hi back at you. Slim Jim 355 says, "Let's go, Joe." And speaking of Let's Go Joe, we've got Joe Beardy in the driver's spotlight. I'll pull him in here in just a second. Toyo-sama with a 127.0. Kudo with a 132.9. RZ McQueen with a 126. Stevie Superstack with a 126.831. I think that's the 5th quickest time based on where we saw him there at the last few seconds. Okay, Fox JCD with a 135.67. Slow Motion Fire with a 128, 127 there for Fear the Fun, 129 for Chaos Fox, and 125 for Craytrium. That's pole. 129 for Ovation with a dirtied 129, so that'll be toward the back of the pack. SGR Floofy with a 126.3, 131.7 there for Grim. Slipstream with a 126.4, Barney 127.2. Savage Reaper and Foontang with a couple of dirtied laps there, 131 and 127 respectively. A 127.5 for Audrex, a 133 dirtied for Slim Jim. Wow, this is what, 5, 6 dirtied laps here? I should have done the predictor on that one. Born as Ghost with a dirtied 126. Barf Monkey with a 127.599. A 133 for Weisenmitten. Joe Beardy with a 129 and a 136 there for your boy Jacoby. Joe Beardy, 129, maybe just a little bit better than mid-pack. This after not so hot run out there at Lime Rock.
Yeah, I'd say if there was a bus to be driving, I'd be driving the struggle bus tonight, and especially in this car.
You shouldn't have said it. I know you threw that out there before the race even got started, and you jinxed yourself.
Yeah, I've been trying to get everyone to drink my Kool-Aid has been the joke with running the wheel. And I don't know if it's this car in general or this car mixed with the wheel. But, yeah, it's been an all-time backfire so far for round 1. We're going to see if we can get that worked out, though, here tonight or maybe even for next week. We'll see.
You've got a fellow wheelman out there. We talked to your boy Jacoby, who says, yeah, I've got the wheel, and I'll try it out here for the second race of the evening and then maybe go back to pad for week number 2. But do you guys, as wheel users, do you feel like it's you versus the world?
I'd say yeah. Yeah. Especially in this game, it's 50-50. You meet some guys that run really well on a wheel and other guys that, they're like, there's no way I could run on a wheel. They're full controller. So I know that Slim Jim and Savage Reaper, they were going to run on the wheel, but I don't know if they just couldn't gel with the car or gel with the wheel or what. But, yeah, it sounds like I'm going to be stuck on the wheel by myself. I'm going to be out here lonesome.
Mortismo reading my mind here. He says, Wheel Racer, this Miata is a challenge when you need quick twitch corrections. That was going to be my question for you here, Joe, is that we come out of the 360 Challenge Stradale, where you picked up a win out at the Indy Oval Circuit, the Brickyard. But how's the Miata on the wheel?
Different, I'd say.
Well, that should be a given.
Yes, for sure. Having downforce in the Ferrari helped a lot because when it at least start to understeer, you could kind of just like, hold the wheel there until you eventually scrub speed and get it to grip. In this, you'll get it to understeer and then it almost wants to snap oversteer. Or the minute your rear end kind of breaks around, you'll be, fighting the oversteer, and you'll be pedaling it. But at the minute it grabs, it just likes to come around. And I don't know if you saw me in the, race prior, but I got lapped a couple of times, and those would seem to be the issues. Was I'd get just snap oversteer hard, and it would just tend to come around. So I've really been just trying to work the setup out and work the internal settings of the wheel and anything to try to get it manageable. But it's been a challenge, I'd say the least.
Sprazows came into the first race, I think at midpoint, asking what happened to Joe Beardy. I think there were a few, maybe one time that I saw you off track or something like that. So was it all self-inflicted? We did see a few incidents. So was there also a time where you got tangled up with maybe a back marker?
They were all mostly self-inflicted. One of them was me and Chaos. We got together, and I think it was, I don't know if we got quote-unquote Forza glued together for a second or if it was me touching the curb on the inside, but we kind of locked quarters, and it spit us off the opposite side of the track. So that was one of the incidents. I lost track after my second incident. I'm like, well, we can, kiss the top 10 here goodbye tonight. So I just kind of had to drive it in and just take the points I could.
Making wheel users proud, one race at a time. It's Joe Beardy here. And race number 2 out at Sonoma. Best of luck to you, sir.
Awesome. Thank you. I'll try to give you some entertainment if I can without taking anybody out while I'm at it.
There you go. Much appreciated. Of course, we don't want to see you take yourself out of the race either. I mean, you're promising us that you're going to avoid contact with the others, but don't put yourself in a position to take yourself out too. We don't want to see that. We want to see everybody get across the line, as many on that lead lap as possible. And now Slow Motion Fire getting everybody organized and ready for the 22 laps around Sonoma. Let's see here. There was something else I was going to say, and now it has completely escaped my mind, so we'll just go ahead and move on. Forza Comp GG in the chat says, woo! And if you guys aren't following Forza Comp GG on Twitter, make sure you go and do that, promoting not only the Forza Spec Racing Series, that partnership announced this past week, but then also all of the other competitions out there in the Forza community. And that's kind of the mantra of Forza Comp GG, right? Is if you're curious about where the racing action is and how you can participate, Forza Comp GG on Twitter is the place to be. All right, so Stevie Superstack did not get the pole position on the qualifying, and so congrats to all of you who got that correct. Well done. Let's go ahead and ask ourselves whether or not will Cratrium win the Sonoma race. He had such a good run there in the Lime Rock race, but just couldn't seal the deal in the final 6 or 7 laps. And let's see if maybe he's able to turn that around here in race number 2. There you go. You got 15 minutes to throw down the points and see what you can win. Keep those channel points, as many of them as you can. Very useful here on the channel for our giveaways, our viewer raffles. And here we go. Kick the tires, light the fires. Race number 2, season 39 is underway as Cratrium leads them up the hill, followed by RZ McQueen, SGR Floofy, CMB Slipstream, Stevie Superstack, Toyo Sama, Fear the Fun, LS Barney, Barf Monkey, and Audrex. Your top 10. Here they go. Back up the hill. Continue to climb before you start to plummet on down and get ready for the right-hander all the way here at the end. Even though this is the short track, you don't take that first right-hander. Instead, you wait till the second right-hander where the NASCAR guys drive, and then you make that preemptive run down the back straightaway because you're not having to do all the squiggly bits on the infield that you would normally do if you're on the full track. RZ McQueen still there in second position as we get a nice look through and down the grid, coming through those cornering sections, the S's. And now Cratrium, it looks like he's going to hold on to the top spot here on lap number 1, going into that penultimate right-hander before we hit the horseshoe. It's a right and then a little bit of a left kink there toward the start-finish line. They're spread out 1, 2, and 3. Cratrium, McQueen, Floofy, Slipstream there in 4th. Stevie in 5th. And now up toward the line they go, and Cratrium secures P1, lap 1. And here we go again. Underneath the GoPro signage there, the bridge. Into turn 3. Starting to get some little contingents of packs here, little smaller packs. It's not a big bunch in the middle, although obviously the field of cars is still very tight, but we're getting them in groups here, these little Miatas. 156 horsepower, and Barf Monkey spun around and he makes contact. Fox Jason D gets into him, and unfortunately there's another driver who you had nowhere to go. I mean, what do you do? What do you do in that situation? And so 3 cars at the very least getting tangled up there on the back side of the track. And so we'll move back up here. Fear the Fun in 6th. Back behind him in 7th position. That's going to be Toyosama, and then Audrex in 8th. So it looks like Toyosama maybe falling back a few spots. Out of the horseshoe they go. Back across the line, beginning of lap 3. And let's go to the X-Venture Rewind. And let me see if I can ID who that was. Well, never mind. Didn't catch it at all. A little late there on the replay trigger. Wah, 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 wah. Try again. Let's go to second. RZ McQueen. Still back behind Cratrium. %67% of you currently saying that Cratrium will not win this race, while 33% of you are thinking that maybe the man formerly known as C-Tom perhaps can hold on to it this time. He's got wonderful pace right now. I mean, look at that spacing between he and McQueen at this point. Nice and clean. Using the curbing a little bit there to sort things out. Now through the horseshoe, nice and tight along the apex, and swings it back out wide, and then ropes it back around to the right side of the track for that left-hander. And just like that, lap number 3 complete. Forza Comp GG says no, all in. Going all in with the maybe the predictor points there. Is that what you're saying? Let's go back to Slow Motion Fire in 12th position. I know we still have a good battle for the top 3, but let's go to Slow Motion Fire here as we ride on board. Up at the crest of the hill, he's got Joe Beardy and Chaos Fox out in front of him. That's 11th and 10th respectively, and then Foontang right there on his back bumper, and then Kuda just kind of lurking in the shadows right now. And then if I run through the field, we might be able to identify who was caught up in that incident. OK Fox Jason D most certainly was. He's the backest of the back markers right now. And well, actually, no, Barf Monkey in 23rd position. Oh, and we've got big contact once again here. Slow Motion Fire is off into the grass, but I believe it is, gosh, was that Foontang who got the worst of it? Let's go to Foontang's car right quick and take a look at the vehicle situation. I think that was Foontang. He might have been able to sideswipe the wall and avoid any damage, and that seems to be the case. And so he recovers, but not before falling to 14th position. Slow Motion Fire in 13th, Joe Beardy in 12th, Kuda in 11th. Chaos Fox now breaks into the top 10 in 10th position. Back up to McQueen in 2nd. Sir Mighty with the Foon, yeah! Well, unfortunately for Foon there, finding himself looking more like a lawnmower. McQueen has closed that gap that we saw about 2 laps ago. Going to really pour the pressure on here for our pole sitter, Cratrium. Able to do so back-to-back. I don't know if the Forza Spec Racing Series has ever awarded points for pole during qualifying, but that might be something that would make it interesting in terms of the points tally. If you get an extra point or 2 for qualifying on pole, to throw that one, to float that out, and Fear the Fun and Slow Motion Fire's way to have them mull it over. Up the hill they go. Cratrium just doesn't seem to be making any mistakes. Any lead that he's giving up here looks to be Stevie's possibly a little bit of a skill advantage here. Just a little bit quicker as McQueen looks to the inside. I said Stevie, I meant McQueen. You got Floofy there in the background. A little bit of damage to the nose of his MX-5. It's right on board here. McQueen. Little instance of monkey see, monkey do. Cratrium went wide going into the beginning portion of the S's there, and McQueen followed. Sometimes you get so fixated on the rear bumper of the opponent in front of you that you tend to make the same mistakes that they do, and that's exactly what we saw. No harm, no foul. They continue on, but that's allowed Floofy, with Cratrium playing a little bit of defense and McQueen not making any progress. Floofy now coming into the picture, and back there in 4th, you saw him about maybe a half a second behind. In 4th, it's Stevie Superstack. We've got a car, looks like off into the dirt, kicking up some of the dirt as they come down the hill. I think that might be Jacoby. Jacoby, who mentioned he's on the wheel, and oh, be careful. He's on the inside line. McQueen, just a little bit of a scrape there. Passenger door panel to driver door panel. And it looks like they're okay right now. Floofy making the most of it here to reel in McQueen. And in so doing, also has Cratrium up ahead. That's got to be a little bit disconcerting for the lead pack, that you come up on back markers so quickly, and they are not ghosted here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. They're trying to provide a realistic racing experience, but at the same time, again, it's a beer league, so there's this understanding that you're going to have drivers. If you're a highly skilled driver, you're going to have to deal with some of these guys who are maybe not as quick, and some of them who are relatively new to either Forza or virtual racing altogether. And Jacoby telling us that, yeah, I'm fairly new to this. I picked up a wheel. I've been doing a little bit of racing. But our drivers, whether you're in 1st or in 23rd, have just as much right to the track as anybody else. It's just kind of understanding where your place is on that track when it comes to any particular corner or straightaway. And now here comes McQueen, really giving Cratrium a hard time. Onto the back bumper, Virus Dots. Wee Woo, how's the racing been? It's been good. A very good opening week here. A nice indication, I think, of how things are going to go in next week, and then the 3 weeks after that. A little bit more spread out here at Sonoma than what we saw at Lime Rock. At least out at Lime Rock, the field stayed together for quite a long time. Here on lap number 8, it's already thinned out. We've got cars on all corners of the track. Here comes Floofy. So now McQueen not only contesting for the top spot, but going to have to try to fend off the Scrubs Go Racing driver of Floofy. Let's see what this looks like from Floofy's point of view. Not sure if that was a twitch or if Floofy just had the back end of the Miata coming out. But it looked like there for a second that he might be at risk of making contact with OK Fox Jason D. Crisis was averted, and so our top three, Kreitrim, McQueen, and Floofy, continue on. Stevie Superstack there in the very Shelby-looking livery, silver and the blue stripes. Back there in fourth, he's got a little bit of ground to make up. In fifth, it's Toyo Osama. Sixth is Fear the Fun. Audrex in seventh. Let's go to LS Barney. Oh, actually, hold on. Did McQueen tap the tire wall? Well, somebody did. I don't think that was Fear the Fun, though. It was Fear the Fun who told us during the driver's spotlight segment coming out of the qualifying, or actually before qualifying, he said he's tagged that tire wall on the inside of turn number one a time or two. That was definitely somebody different. Come on, Floofy, you're missing shifts. Get it together. Well, and I don't know if Floofy's adjusting his shifts to account for the car in front of him to make sure that he just doesn't go plowing through them into any one of these corners, but he does seem to have fallen back at least another car length as they go through the S's, wrapping up wrapping up lap number 10. Sprazau saying the top guy's pushing it against that tire wall into turn number one, that it's risky. It is. Like, how much are you truly making with cutting it that close versus how much you will lose if you hit it? If you hit it and damage your car, you've got a full lap that you got to get around the track. That is not going to be good. So I think you got to weigh the opportunity, or what little opportunity might be there, and maybe opt out of pushing it so close. D400 class here in Forza Motorsport 7, 156 horsepower, 135 foot-pounds of torque, the car weighing 1,980 pounds curb weight. This was the choice of RZ McQueen, who won season 38 in the 360 Challenge Stradale. Such a great car, wonderful season that was. RZ McQueen just falling one race short of sweeping that entire 9-race season, and the sweep is out of the question very early on here in season 39 with Stevie Superstack winning out at Lime Rock. Floofy now continues to drop back. Let's see here. Let's go to 8th position, LS Barney. He's got Audrex in 7th. Dustin Moore on the call. LS Barney to the inside. Audrex points the front end of his Miata back toward the inside of the turn there, and almost made contact with the front left quarter panel of Barney. And Barney here for the start of lap 12, able to get around Audrex. But Audrex is gonna There's no quit. There's no quit in Audrex. He may have gotten around him, but he's going to strike fast and strike first. and strike hard. A little bit wide there goes Barney. Yeah, with the call here, Dustin Moore on X Venture, as always. Thank you so much for tuning in here on a Tuesday as we roll into Wednesday and getting closer to the midpoint of March. Hopefully, you all are staying healthy out there as the pandemic wages on more than a year. I know a lot of us here stateside, it's closing in on the year at which maybe some of us have been working from the home office or the office at home. Oh, we've got cars that are all turned around here as some of our lead pack closes in. That's going to be Savage Reaper, who got all kinds of squirrely coming out of that final, the penultimate right-hander. He was able to, it looks like, avoid contact with any of those lead lap cars and instead has just bunched them up a little bit. Fear the Fun there in 6th. Barney in 7th. Audrex in 8th. Kuda a ways back in 9th. Let's go back up to McQueen in 2nd. Please click the follow button. That's all I have to say about that. All right, the submissions are closed for our predictor. Will Cratrim win the race? 6% of you say yes, he will, to include DWM Frog. And 94% of you are with Sir Mighty, saying, nope, much like race number 1, Cratrim's going to fall back. Well, he has here on lap 13. McQueen moving up into the lead spot. Can he hold on to it as the smiling Miata comes roaring down the Sonoma Raceway? Think outside the oval, it says. Indeed, and wow, is NASCAR thinking, well, throwing a dirt track in there is not thinking outside the oval. It's a dirt oval, but man, a dirt track? What is that, out at Bristol? That's something different. Wonder if maybe we'll see that one in the next Forza Motorsport title. The dirt oval. Of course, will we see off-road at all? It's never been a thing in Forza Motorsport. Queen now going to lead the top 3 down the hill here on lap number 14. With yet again more traffic out in front of him. I think that's Barf Monkey. So it's McQueen in 1st, Cratrim in 2nd, Floofy in 3rd, Stevie Superstack there in 4th position. Then it's Toyo Sama in 5th, Fear the Fun in 6th. Another great run. Well done by Fear the Fun if he can hold on to it. LS Barney in 7th, Audrex in 8th, Kuda in 9th, and Chaos Fox able to find himself into the top 10 right now in 10th. Slow Motion Fire just outside of it in 11th. Foontang in 12th, Born as Ghost in 13th. Then it's Grim, Joe Beardy, Ovation, Barf Monkey, Slim Jim, OK Fox, Jason D, Savage Reaper, ya boy Jacoby. 14th through 21st, CMD Slipstream and Wizen Mitten with the DNFs. The big one there is Slipstream. Slip not having a great showing here in week number 1 of season 39. That's okay. You don't like to think that week 1 is going to be your drop week. You never want to start with the assumption that, okay, these are the ones that I go ahead and throw out, because you never know what might go wrong for the rest of the season. But who knows? Might be able to turn it around. Slipstream finishing season 38 in 13th position. I think that's because he missed a few races that season. Not doing a full one there in the 360 Challenge Finale. And there comes Floofy a little bit wide, missing the tire wall there. Nobody's really pegged that tire wall. It happens at least, or seemingly happens at least once per race, where somebody comes out of that right-hander down the hill a little too hot and heavy, and then boom, nosedives straight in. CBC Intimidator with the follow. Thank you. Sorry, I know I'm a little late on the call there. Welcome to the broadcast. Lap 15 of 22. We got the good skybox out here at Sonoma, by the way. A partly cloudy sky. No chance of rain ever out here in Forza Motorsport 7. However, there is a more overcast skybox. This one's got peaks of sun. So this is the good one, according to me. Sprazow's telling us Joe on a wheel is really struggling with the snap oversteer in this car. And the change of elevation might not be helping get the front end a little lightened up. That can be problematic. Cratrium continues to see McQueen peel away, and wow. Who is that? Somebody just went straight off in to the right-hander. I think that is one of the back markers. That's going to be 20th position, Savage Reaper. Let's go to Chaos Fox, who's now dropped into 11th position. One of two Scrubs Go Racing team drivers. Slow Motion Fire moves up into 10th. Back to Floofy in third. That was close. Returning to a sense of normalcy here on X-Venture this week with the 24 hours of SnowRunner now in the rear view mirror. Uh-oh, we've got the black screen here. Who are we losing? Wow, that was a long loading screen. Slim Jim, Weisenmitten, and Slipstream now out of the race. Down on the Farm Fridays, this Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern, hopping back into Farming Simulator 19. I'm going to try to take what I learned from the first episode this past Friday, apply it to this Friday, in addition to a little bit of research that I'm doing, and I think we'll be on the right path to get ourselves a nice little farm set up there in Farming Simulator 19. Come hang out with me on Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. The fun and shenanigans of farming in the virtual world. Here comes Floofy to the inside there of Grim, able to make it stick. And really, the return to normalcy comes with Crime Scene Sundays coming back, episode number 3 this Sunday, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. That's a 4-hour broadcast. LA Noire, and we're continuing the. Oh gosh. I think is it the Vice? No, it's not the Vice. I can't remember which crime portfolio. Oh gosh, we've got donuts strewn all across the track. Stevie Superstack's going to go ahead and plow through a few of them. That'll slow you down a little bit. It'll take a little bit of momentum out of your car. Crime Scene Sundays this Sunday, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Come hang out with me. If you haven't watched the first 2 episodes, you can catch it back on the here on the channel on Twitch. In the past broadcast section of the video tab, or then you can also get them on YouTube, where I believe the playback quality is a bit better, so you might want to opt for that. By the way, the 24 hours of SnowRunner successfully uploaded to YouTube. It's a 3-parter. YouTube won't allow more than 12 hours of video in any one anyone recording, so they've split it between YouTube and Twitch. They've got it so it splits it up, and 24 hours spans 3 different episodes there, so you can jump between all 3 of them. You can fast forward, rewind to wherever you left off, maybe if you're watching during the broadcast, or just kind of skim along and see some of the highlights. There were a few pretty hilarious and, dare I say, heroic moments. Some pretty interesting times there in SnowRunner. RZ McQueen, still our race leader. He took over the top spot about, 10 laps ago. Cratrium finds himself about 5 or 6 car lengths back. Floofy falling a little bit further back. And Stevie Superstack trying to catch up to the top 3 to see if he can't grab himself another podium spot. He won the race out at Lime Rock earlier this evening. Toyosama having another exceptional performance here. He's in 5th position. He finished 4th at Lime Rock. Fear the Fun in 6th. Barney in 7th. Audrex in 8th. Kuda in 9th. And Chaos Fox back into 10th, able to get around Slow Motion Flyer so as to be in the top 10. LS Barney says, watch Barney. Quit typing, Barney. Quit typing and driving. There he is. Or maybe you have a significant other who's typing for you. I don't know. He's got Audrex back behind him. I don't know if he wants to watch. He wants us to see him hold off the relentless Audrex. Audrex, his car sounds a little funny. I don't think the car changes pitch with damage. Maybe it's a little bit of an audio glitch. Yeah, because I don't see any damage to that car. 56% of fuel left in the tank, so that's a good indication that our 9th and final race of the season there in week number 5, that being April 6th, I think it was, should at least be a 1 pit stop race. Could it be more? Nah, because they're already at 20 laps, 21 laps here, and they haven't had to pit yet, so it should just be 1 stop. We've got a car who's all kinds of turned around. They're on the back stretch, or entering the back stretch. That's going to be Joe Beardy. And he's got his, oh yeah, Kool-Aid guy just kind of hanging out in the grass now. He may be done for the night. Let's go back to back up to 3rd with Floofy. And that beautifully painted Scrubs Go Racing car. It doesn't fit the theme, which seems to be the realistic business. Actually, Fear the Fun has told us that it is real businesses. Now Floofy's like, nah, thanks, guys. I'm going to go ahead and sport the colors of my team. And so Floofy, let's see if he can get up there for 2nd. And as they come by the flag stand, that'll be the start of the final lap here out at Sonoma. Race number 2, season 39, week 1. We'll be back a week from tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time for week number 2. We'll preview what that schedule looks like. We'll talk about the things to come here on X-Venture, and then we're also giving away $100 worth of gift cards for those of you who tuned in and claimed some executables during the 24 hours of SnowRunner this past weekend. So the white flag has flown. RZ McQueen with a sizable lead at this point, but lots of racing on this final lap to go, about half the track remaining. Can Floofy move up a spot and grab a couple of points to help him out on the overall leaderboard? With Floofy's 3rd place finish in race number 1, if he can pick up, well, if he holds on to P3 here, that'll be good, but if he can get P2, that'll be even better. Those 47 points for coming in 2nd. Joe Pearty says, caught the wall and broke everything in the car. Had to pack it for the evening and spectate. Understandable. There comes a point where you damage the car so late in the race that it's just not worth it. And so Joe Beardy's just going to kind of look as the cars go around him. And here we go. The final few feet, hundreds of feet here for RZ and McQueen. Here comes Floofy to the inside of Cratrium. Can he make a run for it here on the final lap? They're going to go side by side down the stretch into the kink. And it looks like Cratrium's going to go ahead and be able to shut the door there, finishing in second. Floofy in third. That's back-to-back second-place finishes for Cratrium. Back-to-back third-place finishes for Floofy. Stevie Superstack, who won race 1 out at Lime Rock, will finish 4th. Fear the Fun is going to pick up 5th, so long as he can hold off Toyosama. Toyosama looking to the inside here at the kink, but just not enough speed to make it happen. Toya in 6th. 7th place goes to LS Barney. If he can hold off Audrex, which I think he can. He's got a couple of cars between the two of them. And then in 9th, that looks to be Kuda. Sure enough, it is. Slow Motion Fire into 10th, which means Chaos Fox has fallen back to 11th. Funtang in 12th, if he can hold off Borna's Ghost. Let's go back to that one. Around the horseshoe they go. Your boy Jacoby there in 19th position, showing up for the first time here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. Well done by him to complete week 1. And there they go. Borna's Ghost getting 13th. Fruntang in 12th. Barf Monkey will get 14th. Grim in 15th. Fox Jason D in 16th. Ovation is 17th. Savage Reaper, your boy Jacoby, Joe Beardy, 18th, 19th, and 20th, with 3 drivers getting a DNF here in this one. All right, folks. Yes, the racing is over, but we'll talk to a driver or 2 or 3 or 4 in our driver spotlight. We'll talk a little bit more about the broadcast to come, and then we'll be giving away those $100 worth of gift cards. Entrance, you don't have to be here to win. You don't have to be present to win, but for entertainment purposes, maybe you'll want to. Maybe you'll want to. McQueen there in the chat. He's got some emotes. He's probably happy. Gets the win. We'll be right back. I'm going to run some ads. Does help the broadcast. And then we'll be back here on the backside of the broadcast to close things out. You're watching X Venture and the Forza Spec Racing Series here live on Twitch TV. Welcome back, X Venture Live, as we wrap up week number 1 of the Forza Spec Racing Series, going to the driver's spotlight. And who should we find in there but the winner of race number 2 out at Sonoma, Stevie Superstack. Stevie, let's go back to race number 1 first, however. And back there on lap number 2, got tangled up with, I think it was maybe Floofy. Yeah, and got spun around a little bit, and then that was what threw you all the way back to, I think, as far as 16th position. You made your way up to, what was it, 6th?
Well, no, I think you're talking about Floofy. I think you're referring to Floofy. But I was down to 6th place, and then I made my way back up from there. But,
actually, my mistake. I'm talking about McQueen. You didn't have the accident out there. You won race number 1.
One number 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're on track. Yep.
Now we're on track. Pardon me. Gosh, one little break, and I'm writing down people's names of where they finished out here at Sonoma, and I forget immediately what happened in race number 1. So you get the win in race number 1. How did that feel?
I felt pretty good. A good start to the season. Winning race 1 and 4th in the second, so I feel pretty good about that. All I had to do was wreck McQueen to win the first one, so I don't know why everybody doesn't just do that. It made it a lot easier, so that helped a lot. And then battled with Craytrium on that first one for a while, and I was able to make it by him with a couple laps left. But a lot of competition this season.
Yes.
Running in the top 4 with these guys on the second race, I think they were pulling about a 10th or so every single lap, and we were all running consistent, but they were edging me out by a 10th or so every lap. So it's gonna be a tough season. It's gonna be interesting to see who wins because it's so close.
It always amazes me, and of course this is this shows 2 things. How great folks are with the tuning within the game, but then also, of course, folks who can take a car that seemingly, if you think, okay, well, everybody should just be able to press the accelerator for the same amount of time. I mean, it's a slower car. There are going to be the few instances where you actually have to brake, but then everybody should be hard on the accelerator all the time. Yet the fast drivers, yourself included, always find ways to eke out an additional 5/10 full seconds worth of time, and so the front of the pack is able to peel away. It's really quite astonishing. What do you make of the? And we've got the Mazda Miata and the schedule here showing up on the screen. What do you make of the car? And then, of course, the 2 tracks that we had racing at here today.
Well, I love the car. I think it was a great pick. I think it was a great build. It's really showing the skill level of the drivers. I think driving such a slow car and having to drive it as fast as you possibly can is really going to split the field. Because with the fast drivers, it's like eking out tenths, and if you can eke out a second in this car, you're going to be way, way, way more competitive than everybody else. But it's a fun car to drive. I like the build.
Very good. Talking with Stevie Superstack, and I get all my finishing orders sorted out here in my brain so I could talk through it. But what do you chalk that up to? I mean, we've seen you pretty consistently here, at least in week number 1, finish the qualifying sessions there on row 2, 3, but then you're able to fight for the top. Are you one of those drivers who say, hey, I'm not necessarily the best at hop lapping, but put me out there on the track with all the drivers and I'll be able to work my way through the field pretty nicely?
I think I had consistency on my side.
Yeah.
At both races. I was running the same lap after lap, even if Craytrium was getting a 3/10 faster lap time. A couple laps later he'd lose 3/10, so we were equalized the entire time. And I think the thing that I have to work on for next week is the setup. And I usually have like a setup session with my friend. I think you've seen him in chat before, but he's like my crew chief, right? And he helps me tune. And I told him I'd bring up that he didn't help me this week because he was hungover from the night before, so he didn't help me set up. So if I lost today, that was the reason why.
Well, so not only do you have the variable of going out to a couple of different tracks. I mean, we've got Silverstone, which is a very flat track, unlike what we had here in week 1 with Lime Rock and Sonoma, a little bit of elevation. So we got the flat track of Silverstone, and then, of course, that's followed by the not-so-flat track of Mount Panorama. However, there is also the variable out at Silverstone of rain. So is there something in particular about this car? We've heard from drivers that it's a little back-happy, the tendency to slip out. So is there something that you have to prepare for there with the rain? And then, of course, taking what you know about how this car performs with undulation and applying that to the Mount Panorama downhill.
I think you just need to be conservative driving it, especially at Bathurst, because if you mess up, you're going to hit a wall there. And I was able to tune a little bit of the looseness out of it that most people are having an issue with. And I found the harder you drive this car into the turns, the less it's going to step out on you. As contradictory as that sounds, but yeah, it's going to be a tough one to. I don't think I'm going to do very well at the second race. I think I'll do well at Silverstone, but it's like a fine line, and if you just twitch the wrong way, you're in the wall so easily.
You were able to beat him in both races here in week number 1, but what about Toyo Osama? Is that somebody you've got your eye on?
Oh yeah, definitely. He was keeping up with the pack. He was very consistent. I'm sure if he gets more track time with the car, he'll be running even closer to the top guys. I think he was 5th place maybe in the first race, or better than that. I'm not sure, but yeah, definitely one to watch out for. It's good to see a new person joining the season and being competitive. I like that.
That top 5 is going to be very interesting to watch play out here through season 39. Rolling into week number 2, he's got 1 victory to his name out there at Lime Rock, finishing in 4th out here at Sonoma. It's Stevie Superstack. Stevie, any closing words or shout-outs?
Any shout-outs? Shout out to Sam if he's listening, and I really think the season's I think Homestead Speedway this season's gonna throw a big wrench in the works for a lot of people, because nobody knows what's gonna happen there.
That's always
it's going to
fun.
be a drop week for a lot of people, so I'm looking forward to that one.
It's always fun when we can get a wheel in there. Of course, for our wheel drivers who are legitimately on a wheel, that maybe will work in their favor a bit. Stevie, great chat.
You just got to wreck them. Just wreck them like
That's
you wreck
right.
McQueen, and then they're out of the picture. It's fun. Yeah, exactly. That's
exactly. Much like McQueen, you just take him out, you take out the wheel drivers, and boom, you're battling with Craytrim and Floofy, and there you go. We'll see you there in week 2, Stevie.
All right, thanks, Dustin.
All right, and the organizer, the man behind making things happen here in the Forza Spec Racing Series, Slow Motion Fire. So you were able to pick up a 10th place finish out here at Sonoma. You guys were very quick with. I guess you took notes of where everybody finished, and then the crew just went every which way. So I don't know where you finished out at Lime Rock.
Lime Rock wasn't quite as good. I had a 13th there, but I'm way less familiar with Lime Rock, so that was expected.
Yeah, Lime Rock, anytime we visit Lime Rock, I always feel like that's the track that I know it exists, but it's like, oh, yeah, that's in the game. That's right. I forgot. And so it's a little bit of I don't know. I'm not sure what to think of Lime Rock, but we've got Silverstone and Bathurst coming up. What do you think about those two?
Oh, I love Bathurst. That is a fun track. I
Yeah.
can't wait to get out there. Silverstone is in the fog, and that I'm real uncertain about, because there are definitely some corners in the heavy fog that you are braking before you can see the corner.
That'll be a good one. The fog, how dense that is, and how that factors into the race itself. And then, of course, if there is a chance of precipitation, like actual wetness on the surface, right?
Nope, it is starting out in heavy fog conditions, and
Okay.
the race goes on. There's slight chance that it might lift, but it's more than likely going to be fog the whole race.
Okay. So there we go. There's a look at Silverstone. Now you talked about Bathurst, where you're very fond of that track. Tell us, I mean, the short wheelbase and kind of the unorthodox nature of the Miata, but of course it might just be inherent with cars that are this small. Will you be able to get it to stick on that downhill section, or is it going to be a battle the entire time with the back end or the front end?
That's just this season in general, is getting grip to the back. It's a lot of guys are scrambling to get a tune that they feel comfortable with, and it's kind of the flip flop here. We've got a car that's very slidey and suits a different kind of driving style. There's some guys that are loving it, and there's some guys that are definitely struggling.
Do you think by season's end all that will be sorted out, or is it just the inherent nature of this car that everybody's just going to have to deal with it all the way through?
We're starting to see guys get it under control, and I think after 5 weeks, everybody will be fairly comfortable with it.
Talking with Slow Motion Fire here in the driver's spotlight at the conclusion of both race 1 and 2. You were exchanging position there with SGR Chaos Fox a couple of times out there at Sonoma. You got the upper hand. Tell us how you ended up in the top 10.
Chaos and I had a great battle going on there, and it was just kind of navigating lap traffic. It would advance one of us a position, and then we'd kind of fight back, and eventually Chaos kind of tagged the wall, and that's what sealed it for me at the end of the race.
A few mistakes out there. That's all it'll take to lose a spot or two. So Motion Fire, I love it when we can see the performance index spectrum gradually work its way down. So this was kind of a surprise to see McQueen go for the D-Class car. It's going to be an awesome season. I know you guys are just jam-packed with drivers not only on the starting grid, but then also the reserves list. So anybody who's interested, definitely consider yourself maybe a shoe-in for season 40. But man, this is going to be a lot of fun. We're off to a good start, and I look forward to seeing how this is all going to pan out.
Oh, I do too. We had a ton of sign up this season, which is good to see. Had a full lobby tonight, so that's awesome. And I got to give a shout out to Kuda because he did a fantastic job revamping our logo all over the place, and that just looks awesome. So shout out to him for all the work he did there.
Yeah, I'll be the first to admit it. Initially, when I saw it, I'm like, man, that's a lot of lines, but it makes sense. I like it. It's a sharp looking logo. It's very reminiscent of the Forza Motorsport logo, and he's got the F and the F and the M and the 4 in there. So it works, and I think it'll continue to grow on me. But yeah, well done to see kind of the rebranding of the logo itself, not the rebranding of the name. But yeah, it's good stuff. And man, I can't say more about how excited I am to see FM4 represented more and more, not only with the drivers out on the track, but then of course you've got Forza Competition GG, who's helping with a little bit of extra promotion. We saw that in Forza Monthly, so it's no wonder we've got folks who are flocking to the series. Now it's just a matter of being able to handle that large amount of people.
Yeah, Forza Comp has done a good job promoting stuff, our league and all the other leagues, and it's good to see some activity on that front.
Doing videos for all these different leagues, man, I can't imagine all the time that needs to be invested to put together promotional videos for each of these leagues. Awesome stuff. All right, Slow. Well, we'll see if you're able to keep the awesome racing going here, carry that momentum into week number 2, and especially as you go out to Bathurst, which you say you're pretty excited about. Any shout-outs for you this evening?
No, just Kuda for the work he's done.
Yep. Awesome. All right, Slow. We'll see you next week.
And I guess, of course, you, Dustin, and all the work you do. Can't let you leave you hanging.
I don't know what you're talking about. You act like you're a stranger to me when you come into the 24 hours of Snow Runner, and then now you're like, oh, thanks for all you do.
I gotta hassle you about something.
That's right. Fair enough. All right, Slow. We'll hassle each other a week from tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on X Venture, and of course what you've got going on the track.
All right, it's a date.
That's not how I was going to phrase it, but sure, yeah, it's a date. We'll make it. We'll be here. That's no question about it. Week number 2 of the Forza Spec Racing Series coming at you. Nope, I just switched away from the schedule. I meant to talk through the schedule. There's the car deets for you, and we'll look at those again next week. But yes, Silverstone National, Mount Panorama. We didn't get a chance to do this before all the racing began because of the connection stuff that I had to sort through. But Road America, the full alternate there in week number 3 with Brands Hatch Indy, and then week number 4 with Watkins Glen, the short track with Homestead Oval Speedway. I don't know. We'll have to ask Joe Beardy whether or not he was the one who selected that. But going back out to an oval track should fare well for the wheel drivers. But who knows? Maybe it won't. We'll have to see. And then week number 5, it concludes with the 40 laps out at the Indianapolis Grand Prix alternate circuit. That'll be a fun one. All right. We got a lot of stuff here to do, folks. So I know we've got some drawings to make happen. We've got the Wheel of Names because I've got 6 gift cards that I've got to give away. I got my pen and my paper handy. But before we do that, just real quick, a couple of mentions of what's to come here on X Venture, because as much as I love having you all here on Tuesdays, I would love it even more to see you on other broadcasts throughout the week. and that continues or picks right back up on Friday with Down on the Farm Fridays. Friday, every single month, it's a new game on Fridays. We just got done with Dirt Rally 2.0, which I know was a favorite for some of the viewers. We'll come back to Dirt Rally 2.0, I promise you. As a matter of fact, I'm eyeing the off-season after Season 39 here to hop back behind the wheel of my Fanatec CSR to give Dirt Rally 2.0 another go. Was picking it up pretty quickly. I hope these 5 weeks that I've been with, actually more than 5 weeks, these 8 weeks that it will be without that game, hopefully I don't lose too much traction. Pun intended there in Dirt Rally 2.0, but that's what I'm thinking. Anyhow, the featured game for Fridays in the month of March is Farming Sim, as voted for by the viewers. Will be in episode number 2 of 4 this coming Friday. And then on Sunday, 8 a.m. Eastern, early on in the morning. I completely understand for those of you who are either on the West Coast or maybe on Sundays, it's just too darn early to be up at 8 a.m. no matter what time zone you're in. Come hang out with me on Crime Scene Sundays or watch it on demand. It's LA Noire, episode 3 of my playthrough. Love being back in that game. It's been a lot of fun. It's just as good as I remember it, and we'll continue with the crime scene investigative work, and let's see if I can't get some 5-star or maybe 4-star at the very least mission completions there in that one. So come hang out with me and help me too. I'm looking for backseat gamers. You don't have to sit there all quiet and let me make poor decisions. You can help me out. And then, of course, a week from tonight, we'll be back at it. Forza Spec Racing Series Season 39, week number 2, out there at Silverstone and then Bathurst. All right, and then the special thing that I wanted to announce, and I talked a bit about it here at the beginning of the broadcast, coming off the 24 hours of SnowRunner this past weekend, we'll be going into the 12 hours of City Skylines on April the 10th at 8 a.m. Eastern. That'll be 12 hours of City Skylines. I really do enjoy this game a lot, and I haven't made it as far in building a city as I want to, so this will be a great opportunity to do that. And you all can get involved because it is March Sub Madness happening right now, and we've already got 8 subscribers, and we picked up another one. Actually, we didn't pick up another one. It was Ovation with a raid of 13 viewers. Thank you very much, Ovation. We had Mondo Racing with a follow. We had Grease Chimp with a follow. But this month has already started off in record-breaking fashion for the channel. 18 subscribers here very early in the month of March. There you see all the different perks. If you're a subscriber here in the month of March, you actually get to take part in the fun of City Skylines. You get a mansion. You get a mansion. Show up on April 10th. Tell me what mansion you want, and I'll show you here in just a second what those look like. I'll place it on the map, and there you go. You'll be represented on the map. Can you avoid the natural disasters? Will you? Will the people, the residents living in your mansion, will they fare well, or will they be ushered out by their neighbors? I don't know. Who knows? That's gonna be fun. And then also a couple of other perks. If you subscribe here in the month of March, I will select one random subscriber, and we'll give you the opportunity to for me. You tell me where you want 5 gifted subs, and it can be your own channel. So if you're a subscriber to this channel and I happen to select you in that random drawing, you can say, hey, Dustin, give 5 random subs to my channel. We'll make that happen, or to any other channel of your choosing. And then for those of you who subscribe with Prime Gaming, and yes, there are a few of you already here in the month of March, I will be selecting one of you to win 6 months of subscription to any channel of your choosing. It can be this one. It can be another channel that you really, really like to watch. Use your Prime Gaming subscription here on XVenture, and you could get 6 months of subscription tier 1 to the channel of your choosing. A total of 100 subs here in the month of March. I won't only just play 12 hours of City Skylines, but I will do it on camera. I have never had a camera stream on XVenture or Virtual Autosports or Shadow Edge Media, all the 3 variations of the channel that I've had. So if there are 100 subs, then I'll be doing it on camera. We had 52 in the month of February, so if we almost doubled that, then there we go. There we go. Literally playing that right now, says Big 44. Well, there you go. Awesome stuff. And then the last slide I want to show you on that is the the mansions. I mentioned the mansions, but here you go. Here are the ones that you get to pick. These are kudos to a modder within the City Skylines community. He built all these mansions, and he's named them all. So there are the 5 mansions that will be available to you as subscribers. Show up on April the 10th, and you could say, hey, Dustin, I'm a subscriber. I want the Kika or the Gina or the Linda, and we'll put it on the map for you, and that'll be your mansion. Just another way to kind of make it fun and bring a little bit of value to your subscription here on XVenture. Is that it? I think that's it. Now, here we go into the fun stuff. So we had a raffle back during the 24 hours. Well, actually, we didn't have a raffle. We had an entry period during the 24 hours of SnowRunner where you redeemed, or some of you redeemed, 68 of you, as a matter of fact. Well, not 68 unique individuals, but 68 entries were received. Some of you had multiple entries based on the amount of channel points that you had. We are going to do the raffle right here and now. Let me get it all set up, and I've got to take note of everybody's names here. So let me make sure I get this correct, which in other words means give me a moment here to make sure that everything fires up accordingly. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the list of names. 68 again. 68 entries. There's the XVenture Wheel of Names with EXEVN, I think. I think it's the emote prefix that I've been given here on Twitch. Win, right there at the dead center. And round go those 68 names. All right, so we're going to start with the 5 people who win the $10 gift cards, and here's to make it a little bit fair for everybody, or to have a chance for more folks to win. You can only win once. So if your name is selected once for the $10 gift card, you can't win another $10 gift card, or you can't win another or the $50 gift card. If you win the $10, you're done. Your name will be pulled from the rest of the drawings. So just one winner of the 6. Well, just one. Or 6 winners. We're going to have 6 winners. There we go. That's the best way of saying it. And let's go ahead and do the first spin for the first $10 gift card. Choice of PlayStation, Xbox, or Steam. And if you are outside the United States, my apologies, but you'll have to opt for the Steam card because the Xbox and the PlayStation one are only good in the U.S. Of course, you can accept the PlayStation and the Xbox one, Xbox gift cards, and you can give it to a friend if that's your choosing, a friend who lives in the U.S., whatever you want to do, but here we go. First $10 gift card. Goes to... It's like a 30-second wheel, so it's going to take a little bit. Oh, it's coming around. Is it going to be Weizenmitten, Bull Terrorist, Weizenmitten, Cratrium? Oh, it's heading toward Cratrium. And, oh, it's not stopping it. It did. Cratrium with the $10 gift card. Congratulations. Congratulations. There you go. That's one. We still have 4 more to go there for the $10 gift card. So I'm going to remove all instances of Cratrium because, again, you're only going to win once here in this raffle. And we now will spin the wheel for $10 gift card numero dos. Here they go. Oh, gosh, he's all kinds of dizzy in the middle. You're going to vomit inside his helmet. I don't want to have to be the pit crew has to clean that one up. Here we go. Coming around. Who's it lining up for? I see a few DWM Frogs in a row there. DWM Frog had a lot of entries, and well, it's coming close to Dragon Core. Yeah, I think it is. And there you go, FFG Dragon Core. Picking up a $10 gift card. Nicely done. We'll go ahead and remove, and that's Dragon Core's 1 entry. There you go. Perfect example of you only need 1 entry to win. You can have multiples to increase your chances, but Dragon Core did it with 1 shot. Remove Dragon Core, and here we go, number 3. I feel like the Pac-Man hyper mode or whatever that's called needs to be playing in the background. Coming around to Weisenmitten, Maximum Homer Drive, who's got a few of them there, so that works out well for him. Yep, it will be Maximum Homer Drive. Also with a $10 gift card. Hiya! Maximum Homer Drive. Remove all instances, so he's off the table. We're drilling down the list there as we see the names a little bit larger here. Maximum Homer Drive says, hooray! Hooray! Number 4. We've got 3 more to go. These next 2 for $10. Then our final drawing to see who wins the granddaddy of them all, the $50 gift card. Coming around to Turbo Toddler. Ball Roganon. Slow Motion Fire. It's Schism. DWM Frog. Turbo Hawk. Oh, it trips over to Turbo Hawk. I think that's twice now. DWM Frog has had the arrow on him, and then just in the last little bit of rotation there, it trips over to the next person. Turbo Hawk with the $10 gift card. There you go. All right. Bye-bye, Turbo Hawk. Last drawing for a $10 gift card before we go to the 50. And if you're watching right now and your name is not on here, just know that the more you watch the channel, the more of those executables are at the bottom of your chat that you continue to earn. We continue to have these raffle giveaways, raffles for the viewers because of the subscriptions to the channel. So continue to watch, and one day you'll have a chance to redeem your executables for the chance to earn a gift card as well. Here we go. Last $10 gift card. We've got Cratrium, Dragon Core, Maximum Homer Drive, and Turbo Hawk. Those are the 4. Who's going to be the 5th? Coming around, coming around. Grinning Roo, Kaduki. There's DWM Frog again, but I think it's going to pass him. Xander 13, or is it Jack Cactus? Cactacus. It is Jack Cactacus. That name always trips me up. Jack Cactacus. Congrats, you're the 5th and final winner of the $10 gift cards. And now here we go. Cratrium, did I get one? You did. You were the first one, Cratrium. You were the first one. So we'll remove Jack Cactus, or Cactacus. We'll remove his one entry. Again, another example of just one entry is all you need. All right, here we go. The $50 gift card. Who's it going to be? 3, 2, 1, go! Da 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 da. Let's see. I see Xander. I see DWM Frog. I see Turbo Toddler. It looks like it is the long timer. He's got a lot of entries on the board, so it was only a matter of time. DWM Frog picking up the $50 gaming gift card. There you go. That is all $100 claimed here out of the 24 hours of SnowRunner. Whew! Fear not, folks. If you didn't win today, there's always going to be a chance in the future, just as long as the continued support here for the channel goes. And yes, these are viewer giveaways. These are not subscriber giveaways, because I firmly believe that we don't make this a gambling show where you have to pay to play. That would be gambling, which is technically not allowed. So these are open to the viewers. Big thanks to all the subscribers in the month of February who made it happen. Not only forced me into the 24 hours of SnowRunner with those 52 subs, but then also allowed me to have the $100 worth of giveaways here. You got to change your name to Dustin Muffin. No, wrong. I'm buffering. Did I win? You did. You were the $50 there, DW. All right. So the raffle is over. Let me go ahead and take us off of that screen. And again, just a reminder for those of you who are... Oh, by the way, actually, before I go into the closing statements here, just a reminder that if I drew your name, I'm going to be reaching out to you via the Twitch whisper function. So make sure you have your whispers turned on. Make sure you have your whispers turned on. That way I can make contact with you. Because for a lot of you who won, that's my only means. I know some of you are available via other channels. But for the other chunk of you who all I know you as is your Twitch handle, that's how I'm going to be reaching out to you. So if you are watching this back on demand and you're like, hey, I won, and you haven't heard from me, odds are you haven't turned your whispers on. It's somewhere in the Twitch settings. Just search, use Google or something and find out how to turn them on. And then after I contact you, you could turn them back off. That way you're not getting harassed by bots or whoever else might end up reaching out to you, which shouldn't be a problem, but you can turn them off after we've coordinated everything. For those of you who select Steam as your gift card, know this. Steam, for safety purposes, has made it so that we have to be friends for 3 calendar days, I think is what it is. So what I'll be asking of you is what your Steam name is so that we can connect on our Steam profiles so that way we can friend each other, and then after 3 days have elapsed, then I'll be able to send the card to you. That's just what they do so that they can avoid people from getting scammed out of giving gift cards. And then for those of you who opt for Xbox or PlayStation, once you tell me that, I'll be getting those codes and I'll be delivering them to you ASAP. Again, you have to be in the U.S. to redeem those gift cards because they are in the U.S. dollar currency. I'm sorry for those of you who are outside of the U.S. It's something that I can't control. It is just the way it is. If you wish to still redeem the Xbox or the PlayStation 1 to try it, maybe your region accepts the U.S. currency for those stores, you could try it, and then you can give it to a friend who lives in the U.S. if it doesn't work out. Your choice. Your choice on how you want to do that. All right. So remember, April 10th, we do it again, another X-Venture game day there with City Skylines on the 12th. And you have a chance to be a part of the fun with the March sub madness. Subscribe. You'll get a mansion on the map somewhere. You get to choose from 5 different mansions, whatever one you want. You got to be there on April 10th to tell me. But subscribe at any point in the month of March and you're in. Also, if you subscribe in the month of March, one randomly selected sub will get 5 gifted subs to the channel of their choice. If it's your own channel, that's cool. If it's another channel that you want to show some love to, you can do that too. If you're a Prime Gaming subscriber to this channel, which there are a few of you already, you'll be in the running for being randomly selected to win a 6-month subscription to the channel of your choice. That's you getting subscribed. If you say, hey, Dustin, I want to be subscribed to your channel for 6 months, okay, I can do that. Or if you want to pick another one to support, and that way you get all the benefits at that channel, that's cool too. 100 total subscriptions, that's just 48 more than what we had in February. I say just 48, that's a lot. 100 subscriptions in the month of March will not only be a 12-hour City Skyline stream, because that's going to happen no matter what, but I will be doing it on camera, which I've never done. I've never had a camera stream here on Twitch, so that would be a first if you guys are able to get me to 100 subscribers. I thought 48 was out of the realm of possibility. Y'all proved me wrong. And then here are the mansions. Those of you that are subscribers, these are the mansions that you could choose from to have me place onto the map. City Skylines on April 10th. And who knows, maybe you'll get struck by a meteor, or maybe lightning will strike your building and set it ablaze. Who knows? We're going to have fun with it. 12 hours of City Skylines. Plenty of things could go right. Plenty of things can go wrong. Hope to see you on Friday for Down on the Farm Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Also hope to see you maybe on Sunday for LA Noir Crime Scene Sundays. That's at 8 a.m. Eastern time. And then back here on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, with Forza Spec Racing Series Season 39, week number 2. Alrighty, y'all take care. Have a great rest of the week. Have a lovely Wednesday. Hope to see you Friday or Sunday. If not, have a fantastic weekend. Thanks for all the follows today. And again, Ovation, thanks for the raid. Catch y'all on the flip side. Stay happy. Stay healthy. If you get any racing action in, keep it fun. Keep it safe. Keep it clean. Adios. Goodbye.
If we never don't know, someone's gotta change.